Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play the best Final Fantasy era. Okay, can I say something that's going to make you all hate me? My controller's not working. Hang on. This is such a pain to deal with. Oh, it's because it actually shut. Okay, fine, whatever. That one. Hey, Cloud of the Stars. It's okay, I can rebind, because that's a thing. Whoop. God dang it. No. Ah! Hang on. This is going to take me a second. Because it's, like, wrong. There we go. There we go. Ooh. Back to the game. So can I admit something that's going to make everyone on the entire internet hate me? I'm more relieved to be playing this game. Like, it's less stressful. There we go, that's the word I want to use. I am far less stressed about this game than I was about FF10. Did I do that? No, I didn't. Let's go and do that.
Sphere's landscape really hasn't changed much since then. If anything's changed, people seem to smile more often now. It's as if they finally have time to notice the beauty around them.
I mean, it's a pretty world.
Hey, this is nice out here.
What?
People out enjoying nature. It's very peaceful.
Sure is. A lot of people are traveling these days, trying to learn more about Spira.
Thanks to you, Yuna.
I had nothing to do with it.
Go on, give yourself a pat on the back.
No. So the reason I was kind of stressing about FF10 is because of the grind that I was dreading in FF10, which we actually never really ran into. But the whole time I was just like, oh god, I'm going to have to grind or cheat. I don't think I'll have to grind or cheat in this game, and that's just a lot more relaxing to me. So one thing I was also noticing, I don't know if this is literally true, but I feel like there's more NPCs in 10-2. Maybe it's just because of the fact that, you know, there's quite a few you can just randomly talk to during these missions, and as you're talking to them, they have the little non-voice acted little tidbits that help flesh out the, you know, like a typical FF, really, which FF10 didn't quite do. So, I don't know, just interesting to think about, because, you know, as I've said many times, this game is the world-building game that 10 kind of needed. Yes, fiends, that's exactly right, Crazy Norse. Fiends are anybody who dies, who, A, dies badly, so they don't actually, you know, willingly go onto the far plane, and B, isn't sent by a summoner. Final Cloud! You and I have to have a chat. Where's my sword? Where's my sword? My sword's way over there. I need to move my sword closer. Alright. Final Cloud asked an interesting question, and I want to address this on camera, if you guys will forgive me. He said, why do you need so much damn money, you greedy bastard, in order to do runs? I think that's exactly how he phrased it. If you were to look at the website right now, I've been debating where to really address this. In fact, I've been thinking about another way to redo the website in order to make this even more clear. So if you look at the website right now, you'll see that people have donated a total of $535. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Sildear. I know exactly what that feels like, and I'm with you, dude. Here's hoping it's a smooth transition to fixing it. If $535 has been put towards Shovel Knight, right? That's awesome, and that's probably going to be the next game we play after this. But it's not like I am demanding $535 from you guys in order to play Shovel Knight. The intent has always been that you guys put money towards the show, Like as an aggregate of the YouTube the Star Trek ruminations, the My Little Pony streaminations, and the Clone Wars stuff, and the movie discussions we do on Sundays, and the mainline Friday ruminations, and the streams of reviews and lore runs and all that fun stuff. And then this is just to change the specific priority of what happens where exactly. Reduce LRM spread. Jesus Louise. Anyways, so the idea is basically you don't have to spend $500 for a run to happen. It's just whatever run has the most money and fits the slot is the run that happens. Again, I've been debating kind of re-visually changing exactly how that is showcased on the website so people don't think it's like a funding bar that has to be filled. Because it's not, and it never has been from day one. Ever since we started this method anyways. But, does that answer you, Funnel Cloud? Because it just kind of bothers me that people think I'm demanding all this. But one little addendum. Let me just add something else here for you. I did a little math. And if I was to somehow have done the entire Final Fantasy series, which was paid for and pushed for, by today, if today was done and we were moving on to the next stream, the amount of money I would have made for my 56-ish hours of work for that would have been about $7 an hour. Obviously, since I'm still going, I'll be making less than $7 an hour. Just putting a little perspective on that. I don't actually make a lot of money. I'm not complaining. It's just a statement of fact, and I don't want anyone to actually think I'm being super greedy or demanding money or whatever. So, hope that answers you more thoroughly, Final Cloud. Ah, and that was my keyboard. Yeah, heading... there's actually quite a few runs that basically one person has been drip-feeding money into. And I obviously take account of those for... I mean, duh, of course I do. Because I pay attention to all this. See, you're still using the terminology, the amount needed, Fuddle Cloud. So obviously I am not explaining myself clearly. So let's try this again. The amount needed for a new run to happen is about $60. And that's just kind of a standardization, and that only is $60 because that's how much it costs to buy the games. I don't get free copies of my games, unlike some reviewers or whatever. So, the amount needed is basically nothing. It's just to cover the cost of the game itself. All the other money is stuff that you guys are putting to bills and existing and buying a new hard drive, which I just had to do. I had to plunk $600 down on a new hard drive just last week. You know, all that stuff is coming out of that. So that $535 is partially covering the cost of that new hard drive, to use a direct example. But the fact that you're still using that word needed is all I really need to say, that I'm still not explaining myself as well as I'd like to. Yeah, new internal. Well, I mean, it's technically an internal. It's a 3.5, and it is going into the toaster I have. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Red, for the sub, really. Much obliged and much appreciate. Thank you. Yeah, I can't live off of just air. I don't know if you've ever... I'm sorry, I'm being facetious. I apologize. But really, though, thank you, Mr. Red. And if you give me a second, I actually don't have the document up, because I'm a moron. Here it is. Here we go. Mr. Red, 97. Actually, head-on needs to be pulled out of the vault. I'm not going to do that right now, Mr. Red. I'm going to do that when I do my month-end cleanup. But just so you're aware, Mr. Red, head-on is going to be pulled out of the vault, so FYI. Like, we're already at that point now. Ow! Damn it, Colin Peluso. It's a 12 terabyte, Micromano. Which should answer your question. Thank you very much, Colin Peluso. Appreciate the bits, sir. Thank you. I don't remember what you like to put yours... Oh, no. Star Ocean 1, right? Merry Christmas, by the way. Oh, no, it just means it's coming out of the vault. I have no idea when it's going to happen. What's the other question, Micromano? No, unfortunately, we're actually pretty booked on the schedule right now, which is why I'm sitting here not playing the game right now. It's really important to me to explain this, if it's not obvious. I really, really do not want people to think I'm some greedy asshole who's just demanding tons of money. And I really don't like the mentality of that. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit... It's something I've been fighting against in real life, too. I've told you guys how much work I've had to put into making sure that my family knows that I actually have a real job, that I actually do work for a living. And I've seen something similar where a lot of people seem to just have this sort of automatic impression that I'm overpaid. I live in a one-bedroom apartment, which, you know, has a leaky ceiling and, you know, doesn't have several amenities, and I actually don't have room to put, you know, anything in here other than what I've got. I have to squeeze myself into a corner to be able to exercise every day. I'm not exactly living in the life of luxury, is what I'm trying to say. I don't make that much money. I kind of like to, admittedly, but I don't want people to just have... Because I've seen people in comments who are just like, oh my god, this guy makes way too much money. And I'm going to shut up now and just go back to playing the game. Let's do that. Hi, Tobley. This guy is voiced by the guy who voiced Yakko Warner in Animaniacs.
On this spot, I'll be sponsoring an extraordinary show. Do come. Oh, and I'm Tobley. Yep, it will be splendid indeed. Mark my words, people here and there and merriment everywhere.
Hey, that sounds like fun. Okay, well, we'll see you then.
Wait. I have a favor to ask of you.
Let's go.
Okay. After all, we're spear hunters.
Righto.
Oh, let's hear him out.
Damn it, Yuna. You're not a doormat anymore, but you're still a little bit too willing to bend over backwards. PSP? Colin Palooza? I actually own that, but I never actually played it myself. And good morning, Savicom. Real quick. One of the things I do like that 10.2 did, and this is part of the world building, is that it takes random NPC models who are characters who didn't even have names in FF10 and turns them into actual characters. Like, I actually pointed out Tobley in FF10 in Luca, if you're remembering. He had no dialogue, and he had no real substantial dialogue, and no lines, and no name, and no anything, right? Here he's an actual character. 10.2 does that a lot, and I like it. Bragwin, are you on right now?
Oh, here's the thing, you see. My able assistant hasn't come back. From Luca, of course. Where else? He went to fetch some supplies, which are vitally, crucially important for the show, you see.
I'm guessing you didn't hear me literally just say that that's Yakko Warner from Animaniacs. Gracie Norris. Bragwin, if you could get a Discord invite to Swerby, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Go check on him, right?
Oh, quite.
Why ask us?
Because you are sphere hunters, and sphere hunters hunt spheres.
That settles it.
Right. It's yours if you return my assistant safely back to safety. I'm thinking he must be over in the general vicinity of Jose Temple. Oh, and he's Ipello.
Numbers? Hang on. Is anyone else seeing numbers on your chat window? What do they look like? Hang on. Let me pull up my own chat here. Oh, yeah. So I actually did turn that on. I did turn on stream points. I'm not 100% sure how those work. But yeah, those are enabled now. It should be for time watched, and I think bits also go towards it. It's still in the beta phase. I had to go through a whole thing to set it up. I forgot about that. Thank you, Mr. Red. I also admit I feel very guilty because, you know, runs take a while, right?
Well.
And that's admittedly one of the only reasons why some of the runs get to the $500 mark is because we're just working on other stuff so long that we never actually get around to it, right? Apparently I have to click it? That's interesting. That shouldn't be? Oh. Do you guys mind participating in a brief experiment? Because I'm pretty sure if I run an ad break, those will go up too. And I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick here. And of course, most of you aren't even going to see those. But that's okay. So we're just going to run a real quick ad break. Boom. See what happens. Hang on a second. I do make way too much money. I should just kill myself and be done with it. Unfortunately, I don't own a gun. I should fix that. I mean, I live in the United States. It's really easy to buy a gun in the United States. Oh yeah, by the way, this is going to come up briefly during Lore Week, but do I have any viewers actually in Russia?
I'm gonna whack you good!
Yeah, so I don't mean to be a doom and gloom, but I really hope you can keep watching me in the future, Dakota, because I don't know if you've heard the latest about, I can't remember the name of the company. I wrote it down. There's a Russian company, it's not supposed to be funny, there's a Russian company that is currently suing Twitch for unlawful restreaming of soccer matches that they have exclusive rights to. And they're demanding $3 billion in compensation. And in addendum to that, they're seeking to ban Twitch from being viewable in all of Russia. Just the whole platform. Twitch is, as you might imagine, contesting this. It just happened, like they just announced that, so we'll see if that goes anywhere, but FYI.
I'm in trouble.
I'll save you. Give me a second. I'll look up the name of the company. Gambler Group is the name of the company.
You're Tobley's assistant?
Indeedly blue.
Yes. Are you friends of the chief?
I always kind of found it weird how, like, so Tobley, he's debatable of a character, but what's most interesting about Tobley to me is he was the only person who looked at the Hypelas and said, that's a valuable resource. Which is kind of horrible, but also kind of logical, because he really did look at the Hypelas and think, those guys should work for me. And he basically got all of the Hypelas to work for him. And, yeah.
You sure are. You just sit back and let the goings escort you back to Tobley.
Aha!
Thank you.
Wow, that is bright. At least on my screen, Cobrat. I don't know if it's true on everyone else. The militant arm of the church, Crazy Norse. Namely the Crusaders. So, this is an escort mission. Is it just like normal bright, or normal purple? So on the plugin I've got, it's like BOONG! So if you ever want to really get my attention, that'll do it. Yeah, I don't really know what incentives to set up here. Like, there's a few things I can do. Let's see here. So, yeah, that's great. Highlight message, unlock an emote, send a message in sub-only mode. Choose an emote to unlock, modify a single emote. I don't even know what that one does.
Oh no, bandits. We are under siege.
Oh god, we are under siege. Oh, crap. Come here, come here, come here, come here. So anyway, speaking of crime, crime is kind of an issue now that everyone doesn't have to fear sin, which is sad, but also extremely realistic. I don't think it gives any money, no, Loner. That's not really the point of it. It's just as a way to keep viewers interacting and chatting and otherwise doing things. What am I doing? I want to make sure I'm learning the right ability, which I am. Okay. Come on, let's go. Hello, Platty. We are under siege in a moment.
Oh no, bandits, we are...
Can I please attack? Yes, Loner. I can turn it off. It's a toggle. I left it on because, I mean, it's a new thing, and why not, right? Try it out. Now, Dakota is right. There's obviously always some kind of criminal element going on, and there is a couple of hints here or there that there were crime elements before, during sin, I should say. Excuse me. I like to think, personally, that the criminal elements are just a lot more obvious now that they don't really have to keep on the down low, basically. It's like, well, life's peaceful, so screw it. It's also worth noting that this is probably closer to Pokemon levels of crime, at least at the moment. Obviously, give it a few years and it'll get to proper real-life crime, and that's horrible, but at the moment, it's not terrible. Indeed, a Kaivul Vilem, I agree. Let's start getting our elemental attacks on her. Yeah, by the way, in case you missed that, the warriors have elemental attacks, which is important because some enemies are only weak to elemental damage. So even as a warrior, you can still solo stuff, which is actually really nice. Again, good job design. Yeah, Wild West is not actually an inaccurate description for what we have. Remember, we don't even really have a centralized government right now. Arguably, we don't have a government's period right now. So, just like several elements of the old Wild West, what you have is the town, and whatever that town has, right? They may have a sheriff, they may have a mayor, they may not. They may just have a local gang, or, whatever. They may have a railroad baron who's in charge.
Oh, bandits, we are under siege.
They may be under siege, who knows? Now, of course, again, this isn't as horrible as all that, but you get the idea. So I just got an ability called Assault. You might wonder why I bothered to get Assault. Assault auto-hastes, auto-protects, and auto-berserks your entire party. This is the Trash Clearer ability. And that's exactly why I get it. It is there to make trash go away. The sweeper, if you will. I was referring to other FFs, not this one, Crazy Norse. In this one, everything was clearly under the command of Yevon. Dictator and blah blah blah. Yeah, Assault with Lady Luck is hysterical.
Another flawless victory.
It's an AoE. Oh no, I remember the discussion you're talking about, Crazy Norse, because I was discussing other FFs in contrast to this one. That's why the city-states thing came up. Anyways, but yeah, AoE Berserk plus Prot. I think it does Prot. Hang on, let me actually double check that really quick before I give you the wrong information. No, oh, it says Shell too, so it does Berserk, Haste, Shell, and Protect on the entire party. It is a very nice ability. The catch is it does Berserk on the entire party, and that... Now, what Takoida says is probably my one and only complaint about the combat in this game. Positioning matters, but you have no control over it whatsoever, and that sucks. It's kind of like Chrono Trigger, which has the exact same problem, by the way. Positioning matters in Chrono Trigger, and you have no control over it. That is the one and only change I would make to the combat of this game.
Oh, you've returned.
Thanks to these ladies.
Yep. Of course, you've been most helpful. With this, the show is just a step away from smashing success.
Do you have any almond
Here,
rolls,
as
buddy?
promised.
Gun Mage. So that's our blue mage.
Oh, and take this with you, too, for everything you've done.
Add a circlet. Woo! Basically, your placement... So you start off in a set point, and as you attack, you move. And so you've probably noticed that. Like, for example, if the enemy's here and I go to attack it with a melee attack, I'll probably come back and we'll just kind of slowly circle around the enemy over time, which can change how certain attacks happen or how animations work and blah, blah, blah.
Such a good fuzzy feeling meeting reliable people persons such as yourselves. Yes, sirree.
You're very welcome.
Just remember, it was the Gullwings that helped you out.
Now, obviously, I know this is a really old concept, but I've always liked playing mercenaries in video games. And that is, by the way, what we are. It's not quite obvious yet, but we are mercs. We're just mercs doing really low-tier jobs. Later on, we'll start running around and actively hunting fiends for a price. And again, I know this is so stupid, but that's always been something that's just been a fascinating concept to me, and an enjoyable concept to me. So it's another thing that adds to this game for me. You'll know it when we get there. They'll start calling us the friendly neighborhood Gullwings.
Busy. Starting now, that is. Do wish me luck.
Yeah, 12 kind of did that too with the hunts. It's just the hunts got really boring after a certain point. Good morning, Ice Tray. Good morning, Dream Whisperer. I know, right, Cashel? Hey, look, it's 3 teenage girls. Let's go kill. Oh, God! Ah, my arm! So we just got a new grid, which was the Helios Guard. So that allows us to cast Protect. However, if we do a single hop, it gives us Auto Protect, which is pretty nice, but not super good. We're not going to switch to that. But we'll show off some really fun ones. But you can already see how a lot of these have substantial uses just, by themselves. And I'm not even that far into the game. It is worth noting I'm doing all the optional stuff. As I said earlier, a huge amount of this game is optional. So we did, however, just get Gun Mage. So I'm going to go ahead and equip Gun Mage there. So I can show it off a little bit. In fact, let's just get into combat real quick. Let's just do this. I'm so sorry, Myron, that you had to re-download. A favorite Christmas movie? Die Hard. Okay, that's the dumb answer. I do like Die Hard. But... this is Gun Mage. I actually don't like Home Alone that much. I mean, it's an alright movie. So our guns are full-on Magitech guns, as opposed to a later guy who literally has actual machine guns, which I'll show off when we get there. That's the Alchemist.
Use one of your abilities. I dare you, because I'll use it right back.
Of course they can, Mr. Red. Anyone with a grid can use a dress sphere.
This gun hungers for magic. Let's see what you've got.
So the blue bullets is where you actually get the blue magic. Scan is exactly what it sounds like, but I'll show it off really quick because I actually like Scan in this game. It actually freezes the game and gives you a ton of info on the enemy right here. It even gives you a description. It tells you the kind of status effects it's resistant to, and actually names them on the off chance you don't know what the icons are. It also tells you the classification. Now that's actually probably the most important part about scanning. The classification is the oversoul thing. I've already talked about that. So if I kill 9 blades, the 10th, I think it's 10, the 10th blade type enemy will be oversold. Think of it like Pokemon. You know how there's like egg groups in Pokemon? Same concept. Now, unfortunately, we don't actually have any blue magic yet. No, it's like materia, not magicite, Dream Whisperer. Although, I will freely admit, it makes more sense for it to be like magicite to me. But the way they present it is as if it's materia. Which, again, doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. So yeah, their damage kind of sucks, but as with any blue mages, they are more than capable of being good. If you bother to get their spells, we're not going to. I'm just going to go and tell you that right now, but I just wanted to show it off briefly. Back to Warrior. Wait a minute. Is that an almond donut? I have no idea if harvesting almonds hurts the environment. I know harvesting cows does. Sorry. I mean, there are certainly a lot of Pokemon-y things in this game, so... Oh yeah, it's probably worth noting. You can actually physically travel across the islands, the continent, just like you could in FF10. There's no real reason to, but you can, if you want to. So this is not a SNES controller, as should be obvious by the mere fact that there's these analog sticks. This is an 8BitDo SN30 Pro controller, which is made by the 8BitDo company. The reason I use it is it's a good controller. It's probably one of the better USB controllers I found. It's still not perfect. The D-pad still has some issues. But my PS3 controller, which is what I was using, finally died on me. So, because PS3 controllers are not innately wired, and eventually that just means they, you know, the connections stop working after a certain point. So, yay. Yeah, I haven't really shown off Gunner yet, have I? But I can't actually properly show it off yet in general, so I'm not going to. Let's go to here.
Guado Salon, home of the Guado. You remember, right?
That's insane, Ovain. Congrats.
But the Guado are no longer here. Some people think they deserved all that happened for what they did to Spira. They have a point. But it seems like such a sad way to look at things.
Scrum is basically that mentality. So yeah, you remember Seymour's house? That's where LeBlanc is now. I have no idea, Crazy Norse. I imagine people just spread the rumors wildfire. This is the 8BitDo, D-O, SN30 Pro. It is also specifically the wired version. This is actually not the default version. The default is wireless. I specifically wanted a wired controller for reasons that should be fairly self-apparent. Unfortunately, they won't let us in yet. Even though we could totally bust our way in there if we wanted to. But I guess we don't have any reason to. Nope, wrong way. Wireless tech is useful for what it's useful for, but yeah.
The Far Plane, a place that unites the living with their memory of the dead. I've thought about going in so many times, hoping that I might see you there. But I never have. I think I probably never will.
So, one of the things I like about this game, I feel like I'm saying that a lot, is Yuna is on an interesting character arc throughout the course of this game. And it's unfortunately a little understated, which is the problem when you have the cotton candy overlay that this game has. And that is the fact that Yuna is actually really sad and somber and unhappy with the way things are, but because everyone else is so happy, she constantly feels the need to be like, ah! And so she's putting on a face. Like, the whole game. And it's so obvious several times, like that's a good example of that. Yeah, she's legitimately depressed right now. And is for almost the entire game. It doesn't finally leak out until pretty much the end of the game when she's like, ah, fine, this is stupid. That's yet another reason why I want her to have her happy ending with Tidus in the end. Thank you very much, Ice Tray. Appreciate the sub, sir. Thank you. And I'll put that towards Suikoden too. I don't use the Steam controller, so I can't comment on that. I use this. Now, my biggest thing is I want a good D-pad. And this is not a great D-pad, but it's the best one I've been able to find in USB controllers. Because 99.99% of USB controllers have crappy D-pads. Including this one. This one's better than most, but it's still bad. Oh yeah, suicide! Okay, anyways.
Guess what? Riku finally overcame her fear of thunder. Know how? She said she camped out here for a week.
Yeah, exactly, Savicum. She's been faking a smile. First she faked a smile because she had to. It was her job. It was incumbent upon her. Now she fakes a smile because everyone else is happy, and so should she be. And she's not. I don't want to use the PS4 controller, mostly because it would be this exact same problem I have with the PS3 controller. AKA, it's a wireless controller. Yeah, I know, right, Crazy Norse? Alright, who's frickin' donating? God dang it, people. Why would you give me money? Hang on. I have that page up right now. Here we go. Okay. Word for word, this quote, this comment for that donation says, "You suck and I hate you." I'm finally not lying when I say that for a donation comment.
Always at your service.
And that is admittedly not all it says, but that is the first thing it says right there at the top of the comment is "You suck and I hate you." Oh, you just made my day, Ice Tray. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciate, sir. Thank you so much. Now, at the same time, I hate you. Not just because you donated $100, which, holy crap, dude. So the game he put it towards is Quest 64. Which is already a vetted game. So... that's the thing now. For those of you not aware, I've played Quest 64. In fact, I've beaten that game. So I'm not speaking from internet memes or hyperbole when I say that that game is gutter trash. Oh my god. It is among the worst RPGs ever made. It's definitely in the running. It's down there with Seven Saga for me. We should be okay. It was Paper Mario and Quest 64, and that was basically it. for the N64. It's also pretty much the reason why the PlayStation took off. No, seriously. Because FF7, I've talked about this before, FF7 hit a very unique confluence of history. And as a consequence, when FF7 came out, whoops, let's go ahead and... When FF7 came out, I'm sorry, Venters, it's just the worst RPG ever made. When FF7 came out, I've talked about this so many times. History was changing in a literal sense when it came to FF7 because video gaming as a general concept had become far more mainstream, at least here in the States and in Europe. Remember, FF7 was basically the first real FF they got out there. So, two major markets, both of which were suddenly being open to the idea of video games in general. And one of the earliest RPGs for that market was Final Fantasy freaking VII, which is a very good game. So, you have a market which has suddenly discovered the value and enjoyment of RPGs, and then the N64 had Paper Mario, which is actually a very good game, and Quest 64. Whereas the PlayStation had, let's see, FF7, 8, and 9, Legend of Dragoon, Legend of Legaia, God, help me out, Breath of Fire 3, God, what else? There was a lot of stuff. It was Suikoden 1 and 2, and... that's it. Wild Arms came out. Xenogears, yep, Xenogears came out. Chrono Cross, forgot about that one because I hate that game. Die Hard, you're funny. Valkyrie Profile, that is a good example. Yeah, but you know I'm right, Ventures. Let's not finagle. FF7 is what really pushed the RPG boom. Now, it only did so because of everything else that was happening around it, and I'm not saying that FF7 is the initiator. It was, however, the codifier. So yeah, a lot of good RPGs came out in the PSX era. And I stress the word RPG, not JRPG, because that's also about the same era in which the Baldur's Gates were coming out, and the early Fallouts were becoming a thing as well. A little bit before, but it was still something that helped push PC RPGs into the next level. PC RPGs, of course, have been around since the 70s. They just sucked. I mean, I played gold box games. How many of you even know what a gold box game is? No offense intended, it's just... I'm making a point here. More people have heard about Baldur's Gate than they have heard about the gold boxes. Yeah, the 90s were a great era. Like, that whole decade was a great era for RPGs, specifically. Ultima. Have you ever played the old Ultimas? Because I have. Bingo Loner. Yes, that was the AD&D RPGs for the NES and I think the Commodore and a couple other things. But yeah, they were old and terrible. Put simply. I don't like this song either, by the way, whoever said that. So, Ultima, the old Ultimas, like as in Ultima 1, 2, and 3, are not what I would call good games. They again, you know, that's true with basically every old RPG, but holy crap. I remember Ultima 1 most distinctly because it was ASCII art. That was the graphics. What's funny is if you look at it, the SNES was the previous RPG machine. There were a lot of RPGs on the SNES. Like, a lot. So I may have just gotten myself killed here. Because I wasn't really paying attention. Nope, we're okay, we're okay. We are, however, going to recover a little bit. So you actually stayed dead after combat in this one, unlike 10. Were any of the old RPGs good? Well, I have some weird nostalgia for several of the old Ultimas, but most people I hear say Ultima didn't get good until about 7. Which I believe was in the 90s, actually. So, go figure. But yeah, every now and again, I find myself wondering... what history would have been like if Nintendo had gone ahead with their CD project that they originally were going to do instead of the cartridge one, and Sony basically never got the PlayStation's foot in the door. Because it's been argued very strongly, and I agree, that if not for the fact that... Oh yeah, you could do the calibr... So, I'm sorry, real quick. There's a side quest to calibrate all the Thunder Towers. It sucks. But yeah, I firmly believe that the PlayStation 1 might have existed in some format or another.
It's been 2 years since the faith in Makalania Temple disappeared.
But it wouldn't be the PlayStation, you know?
They say it's affecting not only the lake, but the woods as well.
Oh yeah, actually, ironically, cartridge games are technically better than CD games nowadays because of the nature of, you know, drive cards. Like, I have a 256 gigabyte card in my Switch right now, you know? So, Nintendo was... Okay, there's a gentleman, I don't remember his name, please forgive me, but he's one of the Nintendo heads at the time. If you look up... I wish I remembered his name, but if you look him up, he is actually known for making bad decisions. Like, that's actually his thing, is he makes terrible decisions. And he said no one would ever want to do CDs. They would want cartridges. So, Zalok was awesome and incredible. And as a consequence of that, he ended up exploding. No, this is before, this is not Iwata. You're gonna make me look this up. I'm trying to think of the quickest way to find the guy's name. Real quick, thank you very much, Zalok. Not just for subbing, and not just for putting it towards Torna, but the fact that that is the 2-year club. Welcome to the 2-year club. Thank you very, very much for supporting me for 2 whole years, Zalok. Thank you. Which means we'll put that much towards Torna. I always like to give a little extra on those, just for the hell of it. It says 24 right there. What do you want from me, dude? I don't remember the guy's name, but he made a lot of bad decisions, and one of them was, we need to stick with the cartridge. Now that's important because Nintendo had actually already started development on the PlayStation. No, seriously. That's actually what they started development on. They didn't call it the PlayStation, of course, because the PlayStation didn't exist yet, but they were wanting to develop what would eventually become the PlayStation. When the kibosh was put on that this is actually a pretty complicated topic, so I'm just giving you the summary. But when the kibosh was put on that project, most of the development staff who had been working on the Nintendo PlayStation left, went to Sony, and made the PlayStation. But that was originally supposed to be a Nintendo product, a Nintendo console, and that was going to be the N64, basically. So again, try to picture how different the world of gaming might have been if that never happened. Because that completely changed... First of all, that established the rule of 2, which later became the rule of 3 with Microsoft. It also allowed... It's basically ended the... I don't know what to call it. The era of dozens of consoles that all sucked. Yeah, go ahead, Permeus. Like, it's been argued, and I agree, that if not for that, the... Yeah, we're still on ice. If not for that, the PlayStation would have been just like every other failed console, of which there are literally dozens. Yeah, the console wars, thank you, that's what it's called. The console wars... No, that's not what they were called. Either way, the point being, that would have just been kiboshed entirely. I don't know, it's just fascinating to think about. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. There's a lot to this story, and I don't want to cover it in full detail. It's fascinating to read about, though.
The woods will soon be no more.
Where's my almond donut, Blatty? But again, everything I just said is a super summary, and I think I mixed up a couple of the facts, so please forgive me on that. If you really want to look into it, I highly recommend it, because there are some truly fascinating documentaries about the Sony PlayStation and its creation, and how that really shouldn't have happened. Hell, I didn't have a PlayStation 1 until 2004. Aw, it's okay, Platty. I don't need any more donuts. I'm fat and ugly enough as is. First thing I'd do when I walk into Star Trek, I'd walk into a doctor's office and be like, here, fix me. Huh? Fix me! See you around, Ice Tray. Thank you again. Freaking shame. Hang on. So you want me to look more into this, Dakota? I'll pull up the article I was looking at. I don't actually have it ready to go, because I don't do that until it's, lore week, when I actually have the links to put in the description. There it is. Rambler. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Gambler? It's actually called Rambler Group. My bad. There we go. If you go to kommersant.ru, that's where the news thing happened. Specifically, that I'm not going to give you the whole URL. It's there, I swear. But that's the news site. Now I'm going to go and admit something. I don't actually like a lot of PlayStation 1 games. Like, there's a bunch of games, but most of them, for me, just fall into the generic category. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They wouldn't get negatives, but it's just like, okay. And that's about the full extent of my opinion there. Now, before you think I'm being a Nintendo fanboy, that's also kind of my opinion of the N64. A few gems, but otherwise just kind of meh. So, hey, where's Trommel? You remember the Guado, right?
Oh, High Summoner Yuna. Forgive me for the grief I have caused you.
How have you been?
Well, with Lord Seymour gone, we Guado are hardly different from the dead. Many Ronso lost their lives at the hands of Lord Seymour. Those who survived swore vengeance for their fallen comrades. We Guado sealed ourselves away in Guado Salam and strengthened our defenses. But soon we no longer had the strength for even this. Now we live among the shadows of these woods.
Trommel?
High Summoner, do not trouble yourself to show sympathy for the Guado. We once walked willingly with Lord Seymour, never questioning, even as he led all Spira into madness. Lady Yuna, I cannot ask that you forgive us, only that you forget us.
Trommel.
Ah, well, what brings the High Summoner to these woods?
Well, I'm a sphere hunter now.
A sphere hunter?
We, hunt spheres.
Really?
You don't say. Well then, please allow me to give you this. It is of no use to us.
Score!
Thank you.
So, special Grispheres. I'll show that off in a second. I feel like they explained somewhere why the forest is dying. I don't remember where. It's something stupid, I remember that. So we're gonna switch her to... actually, first I need to do this, don't I? Doesn't really matter. I guess we'll do Warrior for the hell of it. So you remember this? This is the unerring grid. Or the unerring path, excuse me. I actually talked about this earlier. And I'm gonna show it off next combat. Good luck, Myron. You're gonna need it. Yeah, for me, the PlayStation 2 had a much better library, and consequently so did the GameCube. And no, I never cared for Crash Bandicoot. Hell, this game was a PS2 game. While we're on the subject.
Franekra! Oaka, Kadwidrana!
Waka?
Lusawit, Nakiktela Ekvidama.
Hey, Waka.
Do Waka a favour and pretend you never saw him.
Excuse me.
Well, well.
So just to show this off real quick. Yeah, Suikoden 5 was PS2. Devil May Cry 3 was PS2.
I'm gonna carve you up.
So. These are the special spheres. Every character has one, and they're large enemies, or they're large characters, so they take up the whole battle area. But you actually have 3 actions anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I actually think they all look pretty cool. They're also...
Have picked your last fight.
They're far more flash than they are actually useful, sadly. One of the feathers here can buff you or debuff them, for example. This one can do poison, darkness, sleep, or silence on the enemy. And we can do elemental damage. And each of these has their own leveling thing and blah, 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 blah. Agreed, Dakota. Yeah, these are kind of the equivalent of summons. Kind of. In terms of gameplay approach. So just to show that off really quickly here. So she now has full throttle. So here's the thing. Each of them has their own separate leveling thing separate. Because technically it's 3 separate classes. So, you know, she's got all sorts of abilities. Here she can get, which includes, she can do all sorts of elemental damage. She gains built-in ribbon, which is just passive. You can double her HP. The ability to revive one of the other wings, which is extremely useful. The other wing can also get the ability to revive. Scan, haste, buffs and debuffs. It's really good, is what I'm trying to say. The only downside is you basically have to use the unerring path to properly summon these things. However, the moment you get any of these, any of the 3 ones, the first one you get, the game automatically gives you the unerring path, so... Just more awesome job options. This game has plenty of job options. I haven't really showed off the Festivalis yet, because This is a weird one. It's a status effect job. I suppose I should, in the interest of fairness, go ahead and show it off. So give me 1 second. Let's switch up. Y'all. Let's go back there. Y'all. And let's go ahead and put this here. And I'll show it off next combat. I tend to like pet classes in some games. Depends on the game, really. So let's get rid of that.
Leave our worries behind and have us some fun!
That would be cool to go to. Although we'd probably have to do some balancing so they aren't ridiculously overpowered like Toad Demon was.
Don't put off the party for another day. Do it now.
Riku's in the house and it's time to get down.
Eat this!
The cast animations are so weird in Festivalist. I keep wanting to say Festivalist, but whatever.
Stronger than you thought, huh?
Funnily enough, this job was not in the original version of the game. I don't know if it was added in International or the remake, but it was added in one of them. Let's go ahead and switch back off of that. Thank you very much, Sastel the Keeper. Obliged the sub as always. Thank you, sir. And you know the usual question. If you know where you'd like to put that, let me know. Okay, apparently it was added with the international version.
23rd. Where are you?
Now we must find Owaka and rip the money out of him, piece by piece. You got it, Zestel. As for renaming, I was actually going to ask you guys that. We call them lore points. We call them runner points. Liquefied lore. That's terrifying. Called Lorias. Remember this? It was a boss in the last game. This thing oversold sucks, by the way. So we're actually gonna do this. Yeah, no kidding, Cashel. I've done the same thing, although I didn't time it. Oh, Jesus. Run. Run. Get out of here. See, I shouldn't actually be fighting that right now. Lore coins. I could call them Imperial credits, but then nobody would get it except for me. That should be an okay fight. Yeah, by the way, I am just a little bit underleveled for this area. I think we got this, though. We're gonna go do this. We got this. It is very possible to berserk yourself into a corner, which is why I'm always hesitant. Lore steps. PAX has already suggested one reward, by the way. The reward is if you put so many points in, I have to tell you a dad joke. And I'll just have like a list of dad jokes ready to go. I don't know any dad jokes off the top of my head, man. Come on. How is that a reward? You'll have to ask him. Come back here, oh Waka. Good morning, Argus. I'll look up a dad joke right now, just for you.
That was a close call.
These are terrible. How long has Anakin Skywalker been evil? Since the 6th grade. What, don't you see all the water all over the place, preachings? For $50,000, I'll sing Finny Fun. How's that sound?
Oh me, oh my, what did you say?
White Mage. Easy answer, Ventures.
Don't move an inch. I'm on my way.
You don't have to speak in rhyme. Okay, whatever. Speaking of, so those are actual relatively major characters in an entire side quest, and they were
Day by day.
completely nameless NPCs, which only showed up in like 2 cutscenes in the first game. But yeah, I'd pick White Mage. The ability to heal in real life is simply too useful. I mean, you think shooting lasers from your eyes, okay, that's kind of neat. Casting fire, okay, cool. Being able to heal wounds or recover from diseases instantly is invaluable. In fact, it would be so invaluable, I'd have to be very careful about using it so no one ever discovers I have that power. Because if Myron ever found out I had that power, he wouldn't be giving me 1,000 bits right now. He'd be hunting me down and trying to use me for his own nefarious ends. Astrologian doesn't count. That's not a real class.
I'm gonna whack you good!
Like, seriously, though, I want you to picture how much of a hell your life would become if people found out you could magically heal. Thank you very much, Myron. I do appreciate the bits, sir. Unfortunately, I do not have the ability to heal. I apologize. However, if you do happen to know what you'd like to put those bits towards other than being healed, let me know. But yeah, I mean, companies would try to come after me. Criminal groups would try to come after me. organizations, like actual governments would try to come after me, I would become a valid casus belli for going to war. For God's sakes. And I wasn't even going to talk about religion. Like, think about that for a second. If I could heal you like that, imagine what would happen amongst religious people, or people of faith, or religious or entities, like organizations. And I distinguish all three of those groups on purpose. Because, holy crap. Yeah, I was also going to say, I almost guarantee you someone would probably try to dissect me at some point or another. Now you're like, well, why would I want to do that? Because I could still heal as long as I'm careful and quiet about it. I have people I trust. And I've actually thought about this before. One of the things that I would probably do, because I'm a geek and think about things like this, is I'd just hit a hospital every now and again and just kind of look through and be like, you know, just kind of heal a few people as I'm going through, you know? Nothing flashy. They just got better. It's amazing how that worked out. And people wouldn't question it if they just suddenly got better. They'd just be thankful. That's fine by me. The hospital wouldn't charge for anything. Or would they? No, the hospital would charge through the nose, but it's okay. They're already doing that. So that's not really any change. How do I go about leveling up? I mean, I got plenty of things to heal right here, so... Depends on the leveling system. Like, if it's, for example, leveling in this game, using the spells themselves is what raises them. So that's easy. I just cast on myself until I ran out of MP, and then the next day I'd cast on myself until I ran out of MP. And just get better and better at it. What if I was a white mage in a country other than the States? I have no idea. I've actually never been out of the States. Well, that's not true. I've been to Mexico, but that doesn't count. That would be the downside, Danidvard, but shrug, really. I mean, there's no way to use it without a downside, so it's all a matter of picking the downside. If every time I used it, it was a flashy graphic, then I'd immediately kill myself, because obviously life isn't worth living.
Bevel remains at the heart of Spira, even today. It's also the place where I was born. I suppose that makes it my hometown, but I can't say that I have a lot of fond memories here.
Didn't actually mean to come here yet. Went the wrong way. My bad. Hope you like that. That's about all we see of Bevel.
It looks like you finally caught up with me. A walker at your service. I bought the travel agency from Mr. Rin, but then the temple nearby sank to the bottom of the lake. And business sank with it. Just my luck. Now the Albed have come to collect and are not in the mood for excuses. Think ye could give old O'Walker a place to lay low? For a while? I'll find a way to make it up to ye, I promise.
It's debatable.
What do you think? Sounds like he's in trouble.
Quick, call the Albed!
Thank ye.
Which you can't actually do, by the way. I suppose if it was like the full, you know, massive healing animation of, say, a Final Fantasy game, then... Oh, God, we've been talking about this all day, Adventures. Ask someone in chat. And then what I would do is I would just heal me, and then I would heal, like, my immediate friends and family, and then that would be it, because there would be no way to use that effectively without, you know, ruining society, basically. So that's actually a pretty good grid. It makes you immune to ice damage. Yeah, see, the problem with that, Crazy Norse, is that relies on trusting someone I don't know. It's not something I'm big on.
The end has come faster than I thought. What can we do? I'll be there in 2 secs.
Weirdest drums ever. Yeah, I don't know if you know how the hospitals around here work, but that would basically be one step away from a nightmare. And someone somewhere along the line would try to use it for their own ends, or be corrupt, or try to blackmail me, or stab Zalok.
The Calmlands. Many summoners used to cross these plains, their hearts heavy with the weight of their pilgrimage. I was no different, but the Calmlands we knew have changed.
Ooh, I love these games.
I have 100 Argent credits.
Well, I have 100 open air credits.
Well, we're not doing that.
Well?
This is probably one of the longest side quests in the entire game. You basically have to start it in Chapter 1, and then do it in all of Chapter 1, 2, and 4 in order to actually max out this side game. We're not doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know right now. I mean, it gives you access to some gear, and that's neat and all, but eh. I don't think a calculator could hide their magic, based on what little I know about it. Any more than any other mage could really hide their magic. Death to the Chocobo! I thought 3 was stuck on the airship. I could be misremembering. One of them is we're stuck on the airship. It's also the shortest chapter if you're just doing main quest stuff, because you can get it done in like 3 minutes. No joke. If you're doing side stuff, it's one of the longest chapters, because seeing all of the cutscenes takes a very long time. Like a couple hours. Well, over an hour. And I guess Ventures? There's probably some kind of an upper limit on that, though. Like, I don't think I'd be able to cast Cure on someone in I don't know. I was gonna say Calgary, but that I'm trying to think of a really far away. Like London. I don't think I could cast Cure on someone in London from here. Unless we're really stretching what the calculator can do.
Who, me?
Like, does the grid work on a sphere? You know, is it a 2D plane? Like, there's a lot of weird things that have to... What in the world am I looking at, Cloud of the Stars? Oh, right, the Earth is flat. Right, I forgot. It works on the sphere grid. That's even worse! Line of sight is probably fair. Or within range. One of the two. Is that a Christmas flirt? Oh my god. So I guess that's how modifying emotes works. Good to know. Hit her, don't hit her. The world was only square back in FF6. So, you see this? There's actually 3 concurrent quests. And I don't remember the other one, but basically you can talk to every NPC in the game and promote one of the 2 companies. Talk to about a third of the NPCs in the game and try to find a wife for this guy, or I forget what, to get something else. And you kind of want to do all these at the same time, and you really want to walk through for it. What do we have? Yeah, let's grab those. There's Christmas Kefka. Oh my gosh. Actually, I do kind of want that. So let's do... I wonder if there are mega cheats for this game. The built-in cheats are not at the mega level. I'll tell you that right now. What? By the way, I'm sorry for being boring, but a lot of these early fights really are best to just assault and get it over with. Like I said, it's the sweeping ability. Like you can change stats, creature stats. I'll look at that later. Hey guys, how did Darth Vader die? He wasn't very good at playing The Floor is Lava. Hi, SJ. So you remember the Monster Arena, right? I assume you really remember the Monster Arena because you, like me, probably spent literally dozens of hours there. Is that a reindeer me, Final Cloud? Oh my goodness. Well, Monster Arena's gone. But oh, we can't go in yet, huh? Okay, never mind. We'll go in later. There is something we'll be doing there later. I need to go back to Bethel. Thankfully, the encounter rate is much lower in this game than it was in 10. So this game won't be getting an encounter rate negative, or a difficulty curve negative, or a power progression curve negative. I gotta be 100% honest with you guys. There's not a lot of gameplay negatives I can think of for this game. It's a good game. I can think of 2. And they're both right at the end. We'll see as we go through, though. Obviously, sometimes I'm surprised by my own rating, so who knows. So you remember Yojimbo, right? Positive random encounters need to be Dragon Quest. I guess Dragon Quest XI is a good example of that, but Dragon Quest XI, Pokemon Let's Go, and Pokemon Sword and Shield are the only games that have gotten a plus for encounters so far. And they're all the same basic encounter style, so make of that what you will. No, I believe you, Dakota. We'll see if it actually goes anywhere. I'll have to do a little more research. It was all over my news feed when I opened it up this morning. That's part of why it was fresh in my mind. Okay, currently we can't do that yet. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. Let's warp around, shall we? Since we did establish that optional content qualifies as a negative, I suppose we could add the Via Purifico, or excuse me, the Via Infinito as a negative. And getting 100% in this game really is stupid. No thanks, I want to talk to people. So here's Bavel. Soak it in. We'll show those wet behind the ears Youth League scum a thing or two. Bavel is impenetrable. Its citizens are safe in our hands. Welcome to Bavel. Welcome home. The Youth League invited me to join, but this is my home. I want to protect it. That's why I'm with New Yevon. Politics, politics, woo! Yes, she is the first and only living High Summoner. There's literally no one in real life who equates to what Yuna is for this world. It's interesting. That is correct, Wanta. It's an honor to speak with you. It's daunting to think about how much the people of Bavel rely on me personally. Yes, those that have the ability to change might indeed know happiness. Hello, Diesel Edge. Can't let her down. No, let our guard down. We must be constantly on alert. It doesn't surprise me too much to quote. It's kind of the same over here. Oh god, Slifer. At some point I'm going to have to try out the Monster Creator thing, because I really haven't. Like, it's a new feature, so I don't know all that much about it.
Oh, the High Summoner.
Hi.
I see you finally decided to join New Yevon.
No.
You do us much honor, my lady. Lord Braska, may he rest in peace, would be proud.
Yeah, no, I'm not
I will summon the Praetor immediately.
I'm not.
I beg your leave.
I'm not joining.
She isn't he?
We should leave.
Hey, what's the matter, Uni?
Well, you see, there was this arrangement, with the son of the chairman of New Yevon. I turned the offer down, but I thought it'd be kind of awkward.
Yuna?
You're probably right. Let's go.
Huh? No, wait! Hey! Oh!
Villain man. New salute, by the way. Did you catch that?
A pleasure, Lady Yuna. I am Baralai, Praetor of New Yevon.
So, you're the chairman's son?
Ah, as it happens, the chairman has recently resigned, as did his son, the Praetor. They were trying to take too much power. We had to ask them to leave.
Small but very critical point. The person who actually took over for New Yevon was trying to garner too much dictatorial power, and so the members of New Yevon ejected them. Very interesting to see that they actually bothered to do that, because on the one hand that makes perfect sense, but on the other hand that's actually a little bit surprising given the nature of this world and these people.
Now the younger members run the party, by mutual consensus, of course.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
So you see, Lady Yuna, it is not I that was meant to marry the High Summoner.
Oh, my.
Not that we wouldn't appreciate your support. On the contrary, you'd be most welcome. I understand if your feelings toward Yevon are mixed. But I would hope that you could put that aside and join our cause. The world is changing, and there are many who are finding it difficult to keep up.
It is worth noting Barrelite could be lying. I don't think he is. He's not possessed at this point in time, and he has no real ill intent in him, so I'm pretty sure he's on the level here.
New Yevon wishes to help those who feel lost in the winds of change. If you'll excuse me, there are matters which require my attention. Oh, and should you come across any spheres of Spear's past, please do let us know. My lady?
So, what do you think?
Riku.
What? Pain?
I think I've heard enough. What now?
Shuyin is currently possessing Nuge as of this point in time, and has been for about 2 years. So, I hope you enjoy that shot right there. It's pretty much all they added to flesh out Bavel. Looks pretty cool. Like, really, that's awesome. I wish I could go explore that. But yes, that's why LeBlanc has been actively sphere hunting for 2 years, because he's looking for Vignagun stuff. I don't know. It depends on my feeling on it, Loner. Like, this game's probably going to get several story negatives, don't mistake me, but at the moment, Yes, it's actually funny you say that, Diesel Edge. There's actually a character later on in the game who flat out says, they have Yevon in the name, enough said. And, yeah. It's like calling your organization the Horde when you're not an evil, slavering group of demon-possessed monsters. Not the best move, Thrall. I know, Savacom. This is definitely that intellectual problem I talked about in 10 with regards to Tidus. I can appreciate a lot of the story here, but I have to zoom the camera out to do so. One more stop, then we'll advance the plot.
The Ronsos still live here, on Mount Gagazet. Kimari is their elder now, and he's working hard to unite his people.
All 12 of them left.
Still, it seems much quieter here than it used to be. Maybe because summoners no longer come here to climb the sacred mountain.
The Dominion, Cobra. You get an airship in the first 10 minutes of the game, SJ. Roughly. Basically immediately. That's a slight exaggeration, but it's like 20 minutes in. It's very quick.
Kimari!
Yuna look well. Kimari glad.
How you been, Kimari? What's it like being an elder?
Elder's job difficult. Kimari troubled.
Elder, Leon and Aid not here. Children have left mountain, gone to search for Elder's horn.
What's going on?
Leon and Aid still pups, but bear Ronso future. Say they search for a way to fix Kimari's broken horn.
If Kimari act like true Elder, these things not happen.
Kimari's quest is another one that it is extremely easy to screw up because you have to talk to the right people at the right time and say the right dialogue options at the right time. Otherwise, it goes to hell. There's actually several quests like this in this game. And I've been thinking this in my head, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and give a negative. Because I'm going to give one negative for this across the game, because it's a little bit mitigated by New Game Plus, and it's a little mitigated by the nature of how the content is presented, but it is still bad. There is still a walkthroughitis problem in this game. There's a reason why even using a guide, we didn't get 100% during the lore run. Which, yeah. No, New Yevon doesn't follow the teachings of Old Yevon. Not really. In a significant way. Actually, I'm not sure at all, to be completely blunt with you. So yeah, gameplay negative, woo. I'm sure you guys are very happy I finally gave a negative to this game. But yeah, you can fail almost every side quest. The only quests you cannot fail are a couple of specific side quests, because it's literally impossible because they don't have a fail state, or the main quests, which you can't fail either. I'm not even talking about the 100% ending, that's just a whole other thing. They do have a percentage marker on in the game, but it's not as indicative as it could be. Thank you very much, Alpha Host, for the subscription. Much appreciate, as always. Thank you. And if you happen to know where you want to put that sub as far as increasing interest or priority in a future stream, let me know.
Maybe so.
Kimari?
You got it, Alpha Host.
High Summoner Yuna, it is Garrick's honor.
Nice to meet you.
Garrick, no Yuna saved Spira, but Ronso not saved yet.
See, this is what I was talking about. These actually matter. You picked the wrong dialogue option? Sucks to be you. I did hear about that Slifer, although I never played it because I hate, Mobius.
Huh?
Kimari worried about Leon and Aid, but Kimari cannot leave Mountain. If Yuna finds Leon and Aid, bring them back to Gagazen.
Oh my god, that's hysterical, Dakota. That fits surprisingly well. Yes, your choices matter more in this game than in Mass Effect 3. Not a joke.
This is where we sat, that night. The 7 of us. I've never talked about it. I didn't want to share my memories. I wanted to keep that feeling, this place, within me forever. Now look at it.
A tourist attraction.
Whose idea was that?
Sid's. Although, I mean, if you're thinking logically, of course Xanarkand would become a tourist trap. Why wouldn't it? Most people had only ever heard of this place. And it's like, ignoring the fact that it's this big ancient city, which has its own touristy problems, there's also the fact that this was where the frickin' summoners ended their journey for a millennia. Some millennia? Anyways. I mean, honestly, why would this not become a tourist trap? If anything, I am astonished that Besaid wasn't besieged more than it was. Although multiple people, including Yuna, all bring up the fact that Besaid had a non-stop cavalcade of people coming to visit Yuna until she finally left. And then, thank God she left, now we can finally relax. But yeah, time to go find the Keymon. Ah, screw Reverence. Screw Xanarkand. Puh, I say. Puh. Hate this place. We should level it. Make a mall. There we go. With a parking lot.
Yuna? You've changed so much I hardly recognize you. Remember me?
I do. It's Raiden.
It's good to see you again, Isaru.
I'm honored that you remember me.
I mean, you're wearing the exact same clothes you did 2 years ago, so...
Why are you here?
Ah, yes. I've been helping Sid with his work.
Actually, they say it flat out, Savacom. The Guado didn't actually help Seymour kill the Ronso. Seymour killed the Ronso by himself. He actually said that in FF10. They threw themselves at me one by one. He actually has that line about that. No, they're going after the Guado because Seymour's dead, so they have to get their revenge out on someone. Admittedly, the Guado weren't exactly the good guys in 10, but the specific reason the Ronso are going after the Guado is because of Seymour. So,
Don't look at me.
I guide people through Xanarkand, once the most sacred of places. People come from all over Spira, sphere hunters too.
Oh.
Ah, what the heck is Pop thinking?
I can see this is upsetting you. But this is a place of great historical importance for all of Spira.
I know, but still. I never wanted anyone else to stand there.
One of the other things I like about this, and someone in chat already said this, is Yuna's basically being selfish here. Now, that's not really a good thing, but it is a very human thing.
Yuna?
Nothing. Forget it.
If you say so. Ah, I must be getting to work now. Please, take care, Yuna.
Yeah, actually, tourism is a weird, interesting to consider because it requires quite a bit of infrastructure to properly be designed. And by the way, there's the Celsius? Fahrenheit? I can never remember which is which, but there's the old airship right there. It's kind of hanging out. The other airship.
Taro, Hana, you ready? What was the clue again? Come on, it's key. All right, let's head out. Yes, sir.
There's also the fact that not every tourist is actually going to be respectful of the area they're in. I mean, think about that for a second. You have to account for a huge number of people, who, some of whom are just want to see the sights and take a few pictures and enjoy it. Some people want to climb all over the things they're not supposed to climb on, or run around and touch things they're not supposed to touch, or take things they're not supposed to take. You have to take into account the whole category of people, not just respectful people.
That way. Yes.
Now, small irritant, there should be a lot less fireflies here by now.
Well, well.
Because, I mean, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't, but if there's so many fireflies still here, this place should still be recording and distributing people's memories left and right. Yeah, also, the worst scene in the game is about to happen.
Nice work.
That doesn't involve Brother. You'll notice Brother has suddenly stopped being an irritant. Thank God. That's not going to last, I'm just going to warn you. He's coming back. With a vengeance. Yeah, this frickin' thing. To this day, Keymon is something that just comes to mind whenever I think of cringe. Well, Brother was awesome in FF10, Ventures. I shouldn't say awesome, but he was acceptable. He was just a dude. I'm sure we'll see a cutscene in probably about an hour or so, which will demonstrate why Brother is terrible.
Effortless.
I have to be honest, the cousin thing bothers me, but it's one of the least bothersome things about it to me. Mostly because he's just aggravating every scene he's in, and then he's gross on top of that. It's like having someone throw sewage on you, and then someone else throws up on you. It's like, at a certain point, it's just all gross, you know? That's Brother. Having sewage thrown on you, and then being thrown up on you. That's Brother in a nutshell. Sorry, real quick. Just need to make sure I'm still getting my elemental abilities, which I am... we have. Okay, so now I want that. They're only first cousins, so, you know, it's totally okay that... I've always said, by the way, you'll notice, this is actually, I hate to talk about game design for a second here. You'll notice that the two mandatory quests in Chapter 1, at the beginning of it, are Besaid and Xanarkand. You can't tell me that's not deliberate. Very clearly and demonstrably getting across the idea of the freedom, freeform nature of FF10-2. You can go to the very beginning and the very end of 10, right at the start.
Lady Yuna! Do you remember me?
You're Passe.
You remembered me! This is Hana, and this is Taro.
Nice to meet you, Lady Yuna.
What are you doing here? There are fiends around.
Fiends? Ha! Uh-huh, that's right. We're sphere hunters. The Kindergardians! The Kindergardians!
You here on some kind of treasure hunt?
So Key must be a clue to finding the treasure.
Uh-huh, that's right.
Shh! We paid 15 whole gil for that. Come on, let's go.
Kindergardians, move out!
That is correct, Crazy
Lady
Horse.
Yuna.
Although, Guardian is kind of overselling it.
Gil for a clue?
No problem.
I'm actually kind of with Dakoita. Oh my god! The White Elemental oversold. Holy crap. I'm gonna have to take that seriously. Hang on, hang on. So as I mentioned, oversouling basically turns them into a new monster. Better stats, better everything. Also heals them to full, so if you oversoul in the middle of combat, that can suck. Yeah, they're basically a mini-boss. You'll notice I'm losing to this thing.
Ready or not, here I come.
There we go. You get a bunch more experience, and it usually drops better items like the Arctic Winds I just got. And there's a side quest that involves oversouling every enemy type in the game. It takes a while.
Come in, come in. Do you read me? Oh, hey, I wanted to double check that clue. It's Mon, right? Nah, it's just that I heard some kids saying it was Key. Yeah, I figured it was Mon. Over and out.
The clues are Key and Mon.
What? The Gullwings?
Keymon?
Behold! The face of evil! Even in the remaster, like, they have the Kingdom Hearts problem. In Kingdom Hearts, up until 3, so every Kingdom Hearts game other than 3, there's 2 facial renders for the people. There's like a texture render, and then there's an actual physically skeleton render that they can mesh and actually move their faces around. We've seen the full mesh for these characters. We saw it in the entrance, in the intro to the game. Here, it's just that it's not actually a texture, but it's the same problem. It's a much lower res thing. And so as a consequence, rather than her being like, ha, she looks like that. And every time I see it, it freaks me out.
Monkey!
We won't let you off so easily this time.
It makes sense, Diesel Edge. Yeah, the ammo, it forms their body. I mean, that's just logic, right? It's being efficient, really, Bragwin. Gatling snakes.
I could get used to this.
Snakes? Gattlesnakes. I like gattlesnakes. That's a good question, Grazing Horse. Guns are all of a sudden really common in 10-2. And very ineffectual, relatively speaking.
I'm bushed.
Oh yeah, wait until you see some of the guns in this game. It probably will, Final Cloud. That's also from memory for me, but we'll see. Yeah, they went from, American Revolution era rifles in FF10 to straight up handguns, like Glocks in this one. They eat rocks and saltpeter. How do they come by? Whatever. Oh yeah, I should mention not every mob type in the game can oversoul. In fact, I'm pretty sure none of the Machina can. Don't quote me on that, though. It's been a long time since I 100% of the oversoul thing, because that takes forever. Damn it, Darth Tyrant. How could you do this to me? Ugh! Well, thank you very, very much, Darth Tyrant. Very much obliged to the bits, sir. Thank you. And what I'm looking forward to even more is your take on Sid. But seriously, though, thank you so, so much. Oh, wait, that's actually more than I thought it was. Holy crap. That is substantially... When I first read that, I thought that was $15. Not 75. Damn it, Darth Tyrant. I gotta bow for longer. Thank you again, sir. Very, very much appreciate, sir. Thank you so, so much for that. You suck. Merry Christmas. You didn't tell me where you want to put that. Aww. Other than the obvious, Wily. Do we still have the Wily Christmas emote? I'm just curious, like, is it still there? This is the worst dance in the game right here. I'm kidding, Riku's are worse. Oh yeah, by the way, like, everyone tries to form... Okay, I haven't really talked about this yet. There it is, thank you, Dakota. Just about everyone formed a sphere hunting group because of Trema. I talked about that. I talked about Trema and how he started the sphere hunting thing. Basically, by kickstarting that whole process, he unintentionally started an industry. So lots of different special interest groups are actively paying money for spheres, which means lots of people are actively seeking out spheres. Now, that's partially done for joking sakes, of course, but as you can see, there's a group of old ladies, and there's the Kinderguardians, both of whom are sphere hunters, because people will pay money for spheres. So, Link's Awakening. Did I review WoF? I guess I'd check my own website for that, but eh. Who would go to my website anyways, honestly? And towards FF7R. You got it, Darth Tyrant. Thank you again. Very, 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 very much. Appreciate it, sir. Meanwhile, they're trying to recruit people into the Youth League, but those people with New Yevon. There's that dance again.
The clue is monkey, right? Just a coincidence?
By the way, there's an entire side quest. There's a lot of side quests in this game about getting each monkey to find its one true love. I'm not even kidding. It's basically a matchmaking. You know, you have to pair up things with other things that match. There's a freaking term for that. But anyways, it's a matchmaking game, and you have to team up each monkey with their one true love. And it sucks. It's a dumb side quest. We're not doing it. Correct, Mr. Red. Although, again, that's not really well developed because Trema is basically a non-character, despite effectively starting all of the main events of the game. God, it totally is Dakota. Except for the improved part. Lady Yuna, I hope you're enjoying retracing your pilgrimage. Just walk all over Lord Zaon here. What's left?
Welcome! Well, I'll be if it isn't Yuna!
I don't even remember Dream Whisperer.
Come to buy a clue from Uncle Sid, have you?
Basically, every side quest in this game gives something, and like it or not, they are basically all rewarding. It's either an accessory, and most of the accessories are worthwhile, a garment grid, and quite a few of those are worthwhile, or a dress sphere, and all of those are worthwhile. So usually you do get some substantial reward for doing the side quests, which is why my usual process was to do a once through of doing everything, or at least as much of everything as I could, and then skip stuff on future playthroughs because I've already got it.
Fridina we dragek!
Huh?
Turning this place into a gift shop? Hello?
What, you got a bone to pick?
Nah.
So, what's eating you?
Well, I can't really say, but it's just not right.
Huh?
Oh, it's like us turning the ruins of home into a theme park.
Huh? I see your point. Yeah.
Well, if that's what I remember, the Soul of Thamasa either gives you double cast or 1 MP, both of which are quite useful. Like I said, almost all the side quests, however well designed they are worthwhile in terms of reward. It's one of the things that helps mitigate it, and at the same time, make it worse. Because you kind of want to do all of them. Like, that frickin' stuff. Getting the Lady Luck sphere is just, ugh.
2 years ago, we cast off our beliefs here. Our false hope.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still used to their old terms of gem box and economizer rather than Soul of Thamasa and Celestriad. One of these days I'll get used to it. Well, let's see if we can find this sphere, shall we? Hey, look, there's a giant...
Who's there?
You have done well to make it this far, Sphere Hunters. But you will not have the treasure you seek so easily.
So we fight.
If you want the treasure, you must speak the password.
I actually hate this song, but that's because of how it's used later, not here.
Password?
The clues?
I like how Payne's immediate reaction is, "We'll attack you for it!" And Asaru's like, no, 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 no.
Oh, I know. The password is monkey.
Yes, good. Okay, so now tell me, what is the meaning of life?
What do you think, guys? Is it...
What?
To bring the calm, to hunt spheres, monkeys, to marry a Hypello, or just call out that it's Asaru? What is the meaning of life? Suicide! Wait. Damn it, Cashel, no real answers. Also, that's my answer. Don't steal my answer. In this game, boys or girls. That's the meaning of life in this game.
Monkeys?
Wrong. Wrong!
Wait a minute. This voice sounds familiar. Is that Isaru?
What are you doing?
My job. I bring excitement to those who've come to see this sacred place. I too once traveled with the hope of seeing this place someday. Working here somehow fulfills that wish.
I see.
Okay, thanks for coming. And remember, the ruins of Xanarkand will be waiting.
Quentin Flint, ladies and gentlemen.
Ex-summoners come in all flavors.
Apparently so.
We done here?
Not quite.
The sphere Oscillo Finder picked up a signal. There should still be a sphere nearby.
I gotta be real, there should be like hundreds of spheres in Xanarkand.
Oh.
Right.
Well, maybe not hundreds, but...
Okay, let's try this again.
Come on. I've always liked how there's this giant gaping maw where Unalesca was. But no, where we're actually going is down here, because apparently there's just this whole dungeon thing. I know, I've always looked at this place like, is this where Unalesca hung out? When she wasn't, when she was waiting for someone? Was this her home? What did she do here? Actually, that's fair, Crazy Norse. That's fair. There probably were hundreds of spheres here, and then Trema got them all in, like, the initial wave of sphere hunting.
That wasn't much fun.
I mean, she was basically a vampire succubus thing. Dude, a water slide on the pyramids would be awesome. Think about that for a second. Like if you set it up right, so you can be like for like a minute solid of just sploosh. That'd be awesome. I need to change Riku. Yeah, sorry, I'm not a big fan of historical... Well, I'm not a big... That's the wrong way. I'm not big on historical significance. You want to set up a water slide on the pyramids? Go for it. Why not? By the way, notice we're already over 4 digits of health. Riku is my highest health character. That's hysterical, given what we just did in FF10. Okay, so I need to do this. So she's... No, I don't want you on that. I want the elemental stuff. And she's... I need you actually on Sol. And she's done with the elemental stuff, too. Yeah, we'll go through that. Also, yeah, my condolences as well. Go ahead.
This is your lucky day.
Probably Mr. Red. Either that or she doesn't care about one, which is entirely possible. That's probably not what happened, Mr. Red. Hopefully not, anyways.
Duck soup!
Duck what?
I will admit several of the quips get to me every now and again.
Aha! Found ya!
You can, so you can zoom the camera out now.
Think we need a password?
How about kick its ass?
This is getting old.
Oh god, it's that thing! You remember that thing, right? I almost had to cheat that thing, and then I came up with a strategy that almost didn't work. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now what I'm about to do is extremely stupid. In fact, I probably shouldn't have done it. But if I can delay long enough... There we go. Got it off. So you can kind of stagger actions like I just did there, so that even though she was already berserked, and she could still get her cure off because the cure animation finished before the berserk animation finished. It's kind of like Magic the Gathering where you work with the stack. Yeah, no kidding, well, okay. I've died to that guy more than once. I like stack when it's in the player's control, where the player can, through careful manipulation, work through it. And another thing that's in favor of this game, by the way, the fact that it has the stack at all, and that you can work with it. I need to be writing down those things. Hang on.
What? It's only half a sphere!
All that for nothing.
Well, it can't hurt to take it with us. I can't believe how much this place has changed.
Oh yeah, really minor point, but it's interesting to think about. So, I'm actually a little higher level than I should be at this point because I've been doing the optional stuff. But I want to point this out. You get experience just for completing a quest. Now you might be thinking, who cares? None. So even if you have no encounters on, you still get experience for doing stuff because of the fact that you know, will get experience for simply completing quests. Weirdly, though this may sound, I think in this case that's an example of good design. Because it pretty much guarantees that you are always going... There's like a floor, an experience floor you're ever going to be at any given point in time in the game. And you can't be lower level than that, relatively speaking, so they can design the equipment, the items, the gil, and the experience you get from that in order to help design the difficulty curve. And yeah, there's also no need for exit, because anytime you finish a mission, you just go back here. Speaking of brother, is Venture still here so he can see how wonderful brother is? I'm here.
Wow, Ipakusa.
What's awesome?
We're getting reports of an awesome sphere. Looks like it's already drawn quite a crowd.
Funnily enough, if you were paying attention back in Kilika, several of the NPCs were already talking about an awesome sphere.
The reports are from Kilika Woods.
I want that sphere.
It's as good as ours. Let's scramble.
Okay, looks like brother isn't being irritating today.
Who is the leader? I am. I give the orders around here.
Never mind.
We're listening.
Let's go! Party! Party!
So that's why I hate brother. You'll notice this happens periodically, where they basically take the option of progression away from you and effectively force you to go do something. It doesn't actually happen all that often, but every now and again it is like, no, you're going to do this. And you get locked in. Usually the game's designed well enough that you don't get shoved into a corner by that, though. This is absolutely an example of character assassination. This is actually probably one of the more blatant examples of character assassination I can think of in gaming. Correct, only mandatory stuff leads you to this kind of stuff.
I wonder what this awesome sphere is like.
Well, it's definitely awesome.
It will be, won't it?
Keep this up and someone will beat us to it.
Sorry. Sorry. Hey, wait up.
Okay. Why did that cutscene exist? Maven Nuge's briefing will begin shortly. So, we've already met Gipple, although that was optional. We met Barreleye, although that was optional. And we've already met Pain. It's time to meet the final member of the original crew. I want you to listen to his voice, for those of you not aware of the voice actor. Hi, Donna.
These are all sphere hunters?
I don't think so.
Look over there. Who's that?
Look at his hair.
Nude.
Maven of the Youth League, right?
Greetings, friends. An important sphere is hidden in Kilika Temple. A sphere documenting the true history of Spira. We are here today to demand that New Yevon make the contents of that sphere public.
Why does he have, like, 5 belts just across his chest?
Yet, as always, the voice seeking truth goes ignored. My friends, I ask you, why?
Oh, you should recognize this voice. I'll give you 2 roles he's played, or Cobra could just say it in chat.
because New Yevon wants to hide the truth, just as the temples did before them. I tell you now, this has gone on long enough. My friends, stand with me, and together we will bring the truth back to the people.
If you've heard just about any voice actor playing an animated version of Superman, that's him. However, if you're watching this channel and this game right now, you might know him a little bit more as Sephiroth.
But let's not overdo it. Our opponents aren't as young as they used to be.
Not exactly what I had expected.
Hey! That's our sphere! Oh, Poopy. So what now? Call it quits?
Yep.
Don't know about you, but I could use an awesome sphere.
Okay. They can't decide who it belongs to. I say we make it our own. Right?
Right!
For the record, he was Nuge before he was Sephiroth. In fact, this is what got him a role at Square Enix. It's similar to why the guy who plays Gipple is the guy who plays Zack. Again, he got this role before he was voice acting Zack. Sorry, I'm looking something up really quick. Yes, Sephiroth is Superman. Aw, it doesn't say. Anyways, this guy's in like his 20s. That's all I was trying to look up the specifics of. Why would Riku have jiggle physics? Also, why would you want her to have jiggle physics? Ferris, Terra, Celeste, Rydia,
Hand over the sphere!
Tifa.
Temples have controlled Sphere's secrets long enough!
Spheres? Secrets? What's this about?
Don't play dumb. We know you're guarding something.
Hey, we're here to guard our families from rebel like you.
What are you talking about?
What'd you say? I think it's time you left.
So I hope you caught all that, because remember how I mentioned political thriller? People have actually been kind of forcing the two sides, go ahead, Permius, to fight each other over what is effectively complete misunderstandings. Most of the rank and file of New Yevon are completely unaware of whatever sphere they're hiding, or whatever secret they're hiding. Now, it's worth noting, there is a secret, and they are hiding it. It's probably a secret that should be hidden, because it's the secret of Vegnagun, but that's neither here nor there. So they're just here like, who are these people? There's just all of a sudden this rowdy mob that shows up demanding to be let through. And so they're freaking out, and they're like, oh god. And you can see how the two sides kind of push each other. This should have been war. Such as it is. At the very least, conflict.
Get out of our way! You have no right to be out of our way!
So avoiding this particular conflict is going to be part of our overall approach for a decent chunk of the game. Nuge is 21. He's an old man, clearly.
Easy as pie.
Yeah, I'm a little over-leveled for this, so we're just gonna breeze through these. No cheats. Don't need cheats. Oh.
Piece of cake.
What is with you and food right now, Riku? God.
Everyone, stay strong.
Not yet, Mitch Connor, no. We will, unfortunately. And then I'll spit on him until I die of dehydration. So, you actually can get Ultima in this game, although it sucks. It's absolutely not worth the effort and work that is required to get it. And it looks dumb because it's the same spell that it was in 10, so, you know, it looks ridiculous.
No problem.
I'll agree that he's memorable, but I hate him, and I want him to die.
No problem.
What's funny is he has a point, he's just a dick. And you know me, I don't care if you're accurate, I care if you're a dick. Nothing excuses rudeness. Nothing. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, Riku really does look like she could use some food. I mean, good lord. I made the joke earlier that my arm is heavier than her, but that's not that inaccurate. Now, Shadow Machine, he's not a dick. Shadow Machine's awesome. Except when he gives me 5 gift subs. Why would you do this? Yeah, I don't like Yuna's run either. It's the IST. Yeah.
See ya. All right.
Why is that snowman on fire? And why are those rainbow blobbies fearing each other, Permeus? Are they all warlocks? Is that what this works? Thank you, Shadow Machine. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate as always, sir. Sushi. Yeah?
This is easy!
Ah, there we go, Permeus. Oh, if you want good chocolates, Mr. Red. Although everyone's going to say Godiva, but I got another one for you. Give me just a second. I recommend... What's the name of this company? What's the name of the company? Truffets de France? Which I'm probably pronouncing incredibly wrong, but they're good. Do it. Give in. Really? Truffettes de France. It's a good company. I used to make it a regular thing about buying some of those for family members and friends every Christmas, until this year, in which case I decided to go ahead and make my own fudge, which I then mailed out to people, which was actually pretty expensive, but whatever, it was worth it. Damn it, Ginger Ninja! No, Ice Tray, there is not. Life! Thank you very, very much, Ginger Ninja.
Gotcha!
Very appreciate, sir. Thank you. And Merry Christmas. And I will go ahead and jot that down for Deltarune. Do we even have the beginnings? Like, do we have a release window for that game yet? I know Part 2 came out, which we're not playing until it's done. And now, other lore, I know he would never want me to play Deltarune, because he's actually insane. And for some reason, he wants to have a website. Everyone go to lorereloaded.com right now. I do want to have a serious conversation with you about that at some point, other lore. I'll go ahead and ask the pertinent question now. so you can chew on it for a little bit. What do you want out of a website? Because I get 3 things out of my website. It's a hub for new viewers, so people who are brand new to me can be like, aha, this is where all of his show is in one easily recognizable spot. Which is obviously very valuable to me. The second reason is to help people keep visual track of future stream donations, and the third reason is to keep a schedule up for future ruminations. There's some other benefits, but those are the 3 main reasons I bother having a website. But looking at your channel, I find myself wondering why you need a website at all. Really? Okay. That's not a valid answer. I'm asking sincerely. You want real business advice? I'll give you real business advice. You need to examine what you want, why you want it, and how much it's worth it to you. That's pretty much the core tenets right there. You're welcome, Mr. Red. It's good stuff. I can attest to it, and many other people can as well. Whoops, wrong thing. I want to be here. Oh yeah, I should mention something. I don't know if any of you have even noticed, but one of the things this game does, which is really strange, but kind of awesome, is it shortcuts a lot of things. Which I'm probably explaining wrong. Oh hey, we're finally getting Excalibur. That's a holy damage attack, which is extremely useful on some enemies, so we're going to be working on that. What I mean by that is, how many times have you seen me go through a loading screen, and then rather than ending up in the second screen at the load screen, I end up about 20 feet forward? Or when I'm going through the menus, it doesn't have to finish opening the menu animation to cancel out the menu once I'm done. Here, I'll demonstrate that in just a second. Watch this. Just done. It didn't actually have to render each animation and each closing of each thing. Make sense? There's a lot of shortcutting in animations, which helps the overall fluidity of the game. What do you mean you forgot the password? How many times does this make for you? Hopeless. Sir, I am hopeless, sir. Oh, for the... Right, let's try this one more time. The numbers of the guards at the checkpoint is odd. The password is carved monkey. Whoops, I actually hit the wrong thing there. Ah, whatever. We'll figure it out. What are you linking, Ventures? Oh my god! I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, never mind. I know what I'm looking at. That's hysterical. I mean, that's got to be better than the Materia chocolate, which some company connected to Square sold. And that chocolate was junk, by all accounts. And way overpriced. Now, that's not an invalid answer, the hub part, not the cool kid part. However, the follow-up question is, part of the reason I need a hub is my channel is across 3 vectors, 2 YouTube channels and a stream. Your channel, to my knowledge, is across only 1 vector, 1 YouTube channel. Now, keeping track of donations like that, that's a totally valid thing, and I could probably help you on that one specifically because, you know, custom scripts, etc. I don't know, Chromius. Good morning, Seraphim. Advice number 2, don't stream on YouTube. YouTube sucks. I'm kind of kidding. I apologize, by the way. It's such a habit to respond to chat and talk to chat that I was doing that unconsciously last night. Yeah. I apologize for trying to react to chat. Yeah, no, YouTube's definitely not getting worse every day. What are you talking about? YouTube's delay is hellacious, too, I've noticed. Like, I have an average of about 15-second delay between me and you. And that's only because I don't have low delay mode turned on. I can do that, it just increases the bandwidth requirements.
Don't miss.
Now, I don't remember what happens if we fail this, so we're going to get a quick backup safety save here. Hey, what's up? Shoot. The Craven Monkey. Oh, wow, that was correct. Huh. I can't argue that, other lore. So they like to use these camera angles to screw with you. It's actually kind of funny. So how many people are there, huh? Huh? Here's a picture of Yuna, because screw you. I think this is 4. And yeah, you get items if you get it right, instead of having to fight them. So items are experience. This is actually kind of amusing. Even though it's technically cheating, it's still a neat way to have this be an actual puzzle rather than just, well, the cloisters, you know. So we got a new grid. That one would be this one. Water Eater plus access to water, Watera, and Wataraga. So that's neat. I don't really have a preference per se on donations. I mean, PayPal donations are probably the best overall. Yeah, rather than killing 18 monks in a row. You know. I mean, I could tell you in depth about what it costs, but basically it boils down to PayPal takes about 2%. It's like 1.3 actually. Patreon takes 15%. Twitch takes about 50%, and bits cost about 15% to you. So, in everything other than bits, I have to pay a fee, and I already told you those fees. In bits, you have to pay the fee, which is the 15% fee.
Which is why I keep telling you.
Shut up. Just give us the sphere and we'll be on our way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, not that I want to sound like I'm coming down on the side of New Yevon, but it is probably worth noting that the Youth League is not exactly going about this the right way. They literally rile up a mob and attack a temple and then demand a sphere. They don't offer, there's no negotiation, there's no attempt at trade. They show up and basically try to rob them. Think about that for a second.
Hey, I found the sphere!
There you have it. What's that?
However, New Yevon doesn't get away scot-clean.
I had a little something prepared for just such an occasion.
Because
nice knowing you.
They're willing to unleash actual weapons on the people attacking them. Now, you can make of that whatever you want. It is probably worth noting that a good part of the reason why the Youth League are not the good guys here is specifically because of Nuge. And the fact that he's currently possessed by an ancient evil ghost thing, which... whatever, we'll get there. So yeah, as I said earlier, both sides are to blame. Problem. I can see where Youth League is coming from too. It's just, I'm just trying to point out the fact that they're not the good guys, and neither is New Yevon. And I only point that out because the overwhelming majority of people tend to side in favor of the Youth League when they play this game, at least in my experience.
How you like that?
Not bad at all.
In fact, at the poll right now is leaning heavily towards the Youth League, for which side will join.
What do you think you're doing?
Actually, we're sphere hunters.
So?
Goings, let's go! Sorry, Donna. The sphere is ours.
I mean, we do have an airship. Do you have an airship? No, of course you don't. Although our airship does look like a motorcycle, so make of that what you will. And so yeah, we show up, steal the sphere,
Tough luck.
and leave. Chapter 1 complete. We are at 1/4 of the way through the game. This is not a long game. As a quick aside, this is actually funny because it's either bad writing or good writing, depending on how you define it. See, if it's good writing, Yuna isn't really thinking about none of the party members are really thinking about the long-term consequences of what they're doing here. Remember, sphere hunters make money by selling spheres. Who are we going to sell this to? Yeah, we're going to get a save in. Why not? It could also be bad writing because it's possible the writers didn't think about that. Now, I'd like to give them some credits on that because there's actually some decent writing in this game, but more to the point, we're about to acknowledge the consequences of what we just did. Hi, brother.
Woohoo! Did you see their faces? They totally wet their pants!
Maybe we overdid it.
Overdid it? There is no such thing! The Gold Wings shall be notorious throughout Sphera!
As a group of thieves. Now, I'm making fun, but a lot of the point of this game, and again, this goes down to what's going on with Yuna, is I don't want to use the word youth culture because lately the very term culture has been misappropriated by people to use it as a negative thing, but youth culture. The idea of being rebellious, of doing whatever you want regardless of the consequences, of just being in the moment, right? That's a big emphasis of the game, but in the game's credit, it doesn't show that as a universally positive thing. In fact, it tends to show it and show how there's always consequences for doing that, which I like, because that's true.
They weren't all that happy.
Huh?
Don't forget that notoriety can be a bad thing.
So what? I want to have fun!
Just make sure you don't do anything to land us in hot water, okay?
Aww. Where's the fun in being plain old regular sphere hunters?
Yeah! What she said!
Oh no.
What?
Whenever Riku and Brother agree, bad stuff happens.
That can't be good.
So every chapter has a bridge section on the bridge, the ship, which,
How'd the sphere analysis go?
It's just a regular movie sphere. It doesn't appear to have any special functions. You want to take a look?
yeah. No. You see that? That's Vegnagun. Oh, and Shuyan. The real Shuyan.
You know, you're all I can count on to save Len.
We don't talk about that, Seraphim. Ever.
Freddy Spearhead Dread Machina.
Any ideas?
Not a one.
You know, Brother's voice actor actually does a decent job there of demonstrating how terrifying that Machina looks. Then there's his animation.
But as Machina go, it looks extremely dangerous. Definitely a weapon.
Uni, it's him.
Is it you? Or does he just look like you?
X-2 mega Drekubrana.
I am not awesome, Shinizaga, but thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciate as ever, sir. Thank you. A game that should not be remastered, remade. No, I can't think of such a concept. Especially not with the long term in mind. I don't know, Preachings. Ori. See you around, other lore. Probably, maybe, at some point.
And who's this Len?
Gold wings, front and center. So, let's give back that sphere. What do you say?
But we worked so hard to get it.
That thing is uber bad news.
What if we donated the sphere to the study of Spear's history? That's what being a sphere hunter was originally about, right?
It's a little late to be bringing that up.
Yeah, we already swiped it.
Yes, I am aware, Myron.
Well, I still don't want it. We're giving it back. Now!
Every time Brother irritates me. So that does mean multiple times per scene. And I swear I'm not padding this. This is just my legit feeling on this.
You don't mind?
I've seen it.
It's still pretty shameless to saunter up and give back the sphere we just stole.
Whip a shot!
Our reputation is all but worthless if we do that. Our leaders too, no less.
Greedy!
Shut up. That's what I said there. What is he doing?
Well, now this isn't any fun at all.
I really gotta let off some steam.
No.
What do you got in mind?
No.
Why don't we ask Una to dance?
No.
Dance?
Oh? Oh, that's it! You must dance. Our sanity depends on it.
Brother, your sanity went away long ago.
That sounds like an order, Yuna.
The exercise will do us good.
Whoopee!
Hang tight while I go get ready. What's that sound?
Just some tigers I picked up. They're a colorful bunch.
This is supposed to be funny? I mean, it is. To someone. Somewhere. You know, it's really sad how much of my dislike of this story could be summarized by the word brother. That's actually kind of irritating how much of the negativity of this story is brother in my mind. Alright, so you ready for the worst escort quest in the game? Here we go. There's a little bit of RNG on this one because of the controls. Hang on. I already have Colgrim. Dude, if they made 10-2 without brother, I would pay $60 up front for that. Come on. You see what I mean about the RNG here? Oh my god. Oh, brother is absolutely a get off my screen character. 100%. He's probably the most get off my screen character in all of FF. Hang on, I gotta reset. I've had that happen before, that's why I was kind of commenting on that. So, what happened is she needs to go in first. At least I think that's what happened. I shouldn't say that so definitively. God, do I need to give a negative for music? It just occurred to me. That might actually be a thing. There we go. I want you to think about the opulence here. There are 2 airships, functional airships in the entire country. We're on the roof of one of them, putting on a dance show. Just think about that for a second. I'd ask who the composers for this game are, but I don't think I want to know. Now you're probably thinking, why did we have that whole scene? Literally the plot purpose of all of that crap is so that she could get back in the songstress sphere dress. It's the only reason. Remember, and they've already said this, but just to reiterate because this is important, dresses are jobs, are just a physical manifestation of the power and memories present in a sphere. So, obviously, certain elements of, power or abilities tend to go through. But you can also get people's actual memories and emotions, which is what's happening to her here.
Who's Len? Why am I so mad? Who the heck is Len?
Riku has actually switched to the songstress sphere too, which is funny. And of course, Yuna's jealous because she thinks Tidus is looking for another woman.
I'm going to go to bed.
Although that's that plot thread is abandoned pretty quickly, but it is there. So this is a dream sequence. And that's not who was actually there. Let's just make that clear. Correct, Shikor. What's interesting to note, though, is we will later see this scene as it actually happened. And the tone is completely different between the two, which makes sense because Shuyin and Tidus are effectively very different people. Just like Len and Yuna are very different people. So the tone varies substantially between the two. I like to think it's before Myron. Yeah, this is trailer bait right here. That's true, Dakota. Quick aside, notice the gun is already open on Vegnagun. That's actually going to be important later.
What?
What?
It must have been a dream.
A dream's a dream.
Blame it on your new jammies.
I gotta be honest. Okay, let's move the camera away from that for a second. Ahem. Knowing even a little bit of what I do about how dress spheres works, I would never wear these things to sleep. Holy crap. Could you imagine? These things are literally people's memories, given physical form.
Miss Yuna, what can I do for you? Thank you.
Yeah, there's just all kinds of problems with that. Fair enough, Permeus. You know, this is how you mess yourself up permanently. Why am I on fire? Ah!
What's up?
Returning the sphere is all well and good, but who do we return it to?
The Machine Faction!
Youth League and New Yevon, it's a lose-lose situation.
Agreed.
What do you think, Yuna?
I'll follow your orders, leader.
Oh, aha! As leader, I order Yuna to decide.
Well, he's a good leader.
Hey, that's cheating.
Can't we just flip a coin? It's not like one group is any better than the other. The group that gets the sphere will love us, but the one that doesn't... It's a matter of going honor. Skylife is making him flabby. Wow. Meanwhile, Shinra's been analyzing Vegnagun, because of course he has been. Who did we go with last time? So I should explain this really quick. So this is a mutually exclusive choice, although you can change who you pick in a New Game Plus, obviously. It doesn't actually change much. It mostly changes this chapter. It does change several cutscenes, and it changes several quests you have access to, as well as certain things. You never seen New Yevon? Sure, we'll do that then. Because I think we went with Youth League last time. Because I think we went with Youth League because that's how you get 101% in one playthrough. So we'll do New Yevon.
Well, it's got Yevon in its name. Enough said.
And that right there is the attitude of the common populace. And how can you blame them? It does have Yevon in the name.
But the Youth League is reckless. They're the ones picking the fights.
And that's also very true. The Youth League is actually stirring up trouble with no plan for the future. They're just messing around because kids.
Well?
Yeah, imagine if you called yourself neo-Nazis. Wait. So you notice we're locked in. The only thing we can do is choose between these two. So we are, of course, going with New Yevon.
Works for me. Let's go with it. Gullwings, move out!
Wow, they're pulling out all the stops.
I wonder why.
You're the High Summoner, remember?
Sadly, we won't see Machen as a consequence here. At least I don't think so. Who does it belong to, Savacom? Define that for me.
Ika, edeko! Kukusa lumixo!
Gullwings, I welcome you.
Well, that would be giving it to the Youth League then, Savacom.
Thank you. It's not every day you meet hunters who are willing to bring back a sphere they stole.
Well, it's a long story.
You helped us keep the sphere out of the hands of the Youth League. I'm willing to leave it at that. You've been of great help, High Summoner.
Excuse me, her name's Yuna, and she's a gullwing?
Branding.
Forgive me. By the way, have you seen the contents of the sphere?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I suppose I have a little explaining to do.
Yeah, like what's with the zipper going around the bottom part of your coat?
You saw is Vegnagun, a weapon built roughly 1,000 years ago.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this right now. Vegnagun is probably going to be a story negative because it's stupid. I want you to picture how much time and effort goes into building something and programming it. So, at some point or another, like, at what point... So they build this giant mega death creature, which can literally destroy the continent. No, really. Can actually destroy the continent. In one shot, by the way. And they program it with the ability to sense the emotion, of those who are nearby, so it can sense danger. And they program it so it doesn't have the ability to differentiate ally or enemy. Now, okay. Like, at what point did they realize that and then they kept building? Like, I know that sounds strange to comment on, but you have to process that these people just kept building this thing despite understanding everything I just told you about what they were constructing. Like, alright, let's see. Well, we're going to have to fix 15 more panels to the mega death gun that can destroy the entire continent. Let's keep going. It's not like you just snap your fingers. Constructing a machina in general takes a while, and people, and it just boggles my mind. But anyways, I agree. This is basically narrative cheating. That is the problem. The Vegnagun is a narrative cheat. That's the real reason I don't like Vegnagun. I also think the inclusion of Vegnagun actively hurts the story. We'll get there, though. We're not actually there yet. Oh my god, excuse me.
It's currently being held under tight security. The location is, of course, highly classified.
It's under Bavel.
I see Yevon still likes its secrets.
True. The Youth League would like nothing more than to use Vegnagun to control Spira.
That's kind of true.
But do not be afraid. We will stop them at all costs.
Tell me, who was the man I saw in the sphere?
I couldn't say.
I see.
Hey, we got a distress signal from the Celsius. Gullwings, we're leaving.
That wouldn't even surprise me, Savacom. And yeah, I agree with Cashel. Vegnagun is literally a bomb begging to be set off accidentally. As Takoida says, it's narrative cheating. It is designed to very specifically fit the dilemma needed for the story.
Anything missing? Still investigating.
It's official. We've been burgled.
You know, I'd like to be upset that they don't have any defenses of their one of the only 2 airships in the entire planet. But it makes so much sense that of course they didn't leave anyone to guard one of the only 2 airships. Someone could have just walked on board and just taken the airship. Just taken it.
The broken sphere from the Xanarkand ruins is missing.
Looks like the burglar left us a present.
Thankfully it was LeBlanc and she's a moron.
Who's on top now, dull wings? It'll be 1,000 years before you can take on the mighty LeBlanc.
How do we know how to fly it, Shikor?
She got us.
Oh, poopy.
Language.
Don't talk like that.
I'm just copying you.
That's nice. And?
We're gonna take it back. No one messes with us.
And what about Vegnagun?
I didn't want to get too involved. Not like when I was a summoner. We're forgetting who we are. We're sphere hunters, the Gullwings.
There's that character point again. And the whole, you know, being selfish perspective.
That's right! We steal back what is stolen. It is the law of the Spear Hunter. Now we go to Chateau LeBlanc. We attack in the name of honor.
Get our heinies kicked in the name of honor.
Maybe we can sneak in disguise.
That's it! Yuna, you're brilliant!
So we have to fly around till we find LeBlanc's gang.
Beat them up and steal their uniforms. 3 of them.
Spoiler, we're actually going to beat up like 6, but we only take 3 of the uniforms because... Oh, I agree, Dakota. You'll notice he is actually trying. For all of my venom I spit at brother, at least the actor's actually frickin' trying. I think you're right, Shikor, but it's still kind of amusing. What a lame mission. Yeah, can we just go bust in? Please. Actually, can we just bust in? I don't remember. Hang on. I've played this game like 50,000 trillion times. Probably closer to 20, but still. Yeah, no kidding, Cashel. Yeah, by the way, the guy who plays Brother plays Al Cid in FF12.
Oh, look! The Dull Wings! You're not getting in here, see?
But LeBlanc broke into our airship.
Boo-hoo?
Anything goes for the great LeBlanc.
Okay, apparently we can't just bust in. Alright, I figured. So this is kind of a free-form part of the game, where you're supposed to just kind of guess where you're supposed to go. Know where a couple of these are.
Kimahri sorry.
Sorry about what?
Kimahri look for sphere for Yuna, but Kimahri find nothing. Kimahri disappoint Yuna.
It's all right, Kimahri. Of course, I'm happy that you tried to help, but Yuna has to deal with Yuna problems.
Kimahri search mountain long time, but still one place Kimahri not look. Fate's scar rises high on mountain. Scar is sacred ground, which Ronso not tread.
Why?
Might still be some spheres up there.
Summoners no longer climb mountain. Now only sphere hunters come. Kimahri worry hunters defile sacred ground.
Do you think it's LeBlanc and her goons?
Maybe we should check. Is that okay?
Kimahri trust Yuna. Kimahri not worry.
Okay. Now we gotta climb all the way up Mount Gagazet. Just kidding. They actually allow you to go all the way to the top. Thank you. Ah, no. No, come on, game. There we go. Listen, Seraphim, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm talking to someone, I just talk in a normal, typical style of motion, okay? It's just the ordinary way to do things. So every time you move forward a chapter, the enemies change, by the way. Did we seriously just oversoul? Oh my god, hang on. Whoops. Well, the good news is that's not a theory, Mr. Red. That's just the story. So you win! And what do you win? Instead of calling it head-on, I'm going to start calling it heat-in. You're welcome.
Must be up ahead.
You mean we're supposed to climb this?
You have an airship.
No wonder the Ronso never come here. Look!
How did she not... Whatever. No. The spring scene is actually an optional scene, and I don't believe we'll be doing it. I don't even remember how to get it off the top of my head. Vomit, Seraphim. Just vomit. Come on. Okay, fine. Didn't want that chest anyways. Screw you, game.
She's sure getting into this.
She's trying.
Yeah, I don't actually remember how to... I really don't remember how to trigger the spring, so... Let's see. I mean, they're part of the mountain now, Myron. We don't respect the Great Wall of China, do we? Yeah, the walls are just covered with dead faith, so that's neat. While I'm killing these people, I should, see what's down there. I don't, though. I spit on it. Great Pyramid of Suxa. Sorry, I'm done. So all I'm saying is that we should rewrite all of history, okay? Is that such a bad thing? Okay, there we go. I should also mention that I'm more on the Lucas side of the argument than not, which I know is an incredibly unpopular opinion, but shrug. But no. There we go. Let's see if I have chosen well or poorly here, because I don't remember. Well, this is just a chest.
Well.
Okay.
Another flawless victory.
Listen, it's just you just combine two things that make it sound cool. Like, for example, Gun Monk. Think about it. Think about it. I think you're right, and I don't remember where it is. I'm trying to just play the game normally, to judge it normally. Gun Lich? Actually, that sounds really cool. I am undead, and I have paralyzed touch and immunity to several things, and also I've got a cannon. A what?
Think there's anything?
I know where that is. And I even know how to get it.
If there is, we're gonna get blown away before we see it!
See you around, Seraphim.
Suicide, turn back!
Bullet Monk. Wasn't there an anime about that? With incredibly buxom women, and it was just weird. Like, one of my friends pointed me to that as a laugh, and I was just like, what is this nonsense?
That water felt great. Can you believe there's a hot spring in a place like this? But isn't this supposed to be sacred Ronso ground? Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. What? You think some Ronso boogeyman is gonna come get you? Better that than the boss. Know what I mean?
Hey! You two been slacking off?
No, we were, getting ready for duty. Just trying to, rejuvenate, sir.
Oh god, did I get the... I think I actually got the spring scene by accident.
What's this?
A hot spring? Were those LeBlanc's goons?
Look, they forgot something. That sure was easy. Well, as long as we're here. On sacred ground?
No one's looking.
So anyways, negative to story.
What have we here?
Yes, Riku literally puts on more clothing when she puts on her bathing suit.
Whatever. I know who's got it going on.
Oh, excuse me?
Stay away.
Whoa!
Want to get hurt?
You should check out Pain.
Ugh, hurt time.
You want some?
Ooh, let me help.
Where were we?
I didn't mean it.
Too late.
Yuna, what's all the noise?
Just taking a little dip.
Don't tell him that.
I'll be there right now.
Yeah, he has a code pink, by the way. And don't ask why the high pillows are there.
Don't worry, I knocked him out.
Thank you, buddy.
Maybe we should get out. I'm getting all croony.
I really needed that.
There. Jotting down a few positives and negatives. So, a theoretical positive to gameplay, we'll get there. A theoretical negative to story, brother. And a negative to story, for real. Not for the hot sub scene, just for the game in general. Did we get it? Are we done? There should have been like a mission complete thing. There wasn't. It's really weird. Okay, I got the outfit when I wasn't looking. I was alt-tab typing, so that's why I didn't see it. I was ignoring the cutscene, because I have the availability to do that. I think Yuna is trying desperately to have fun by doing things that should be fun, and she isn't having fun. You know what I mean? Because I know that feeling because I've felt that before. Where there's just this part of your brain that's telling you, this, I should be enjoying this, and you're not. And so you just keep doing it, and if you're around other people, you fake it. Haha, this is great. Because, I mean, what else are you going to say, right? You don't want to be the one who brings everyone else down.
We'll be taking that uniform back.
Oh, finally.
If we lose it, LeBlanc will give us the heel.
Because that's a thing LeBlanc does, is she steps on her minions. Literally. Yeah, I imagine most people watching my stream are like, this should be funny, but it isn't. Or fun, excuse me. Okay, now... Nope. Now, whatever.
Lousy gull wings! Falling down on people like that gave me a little surprise, that's all.
For a little surprise, you sure took a while to come back.
Who asked you?
I'm surprised. Yeah, no kidding. Although, then again, looking at the rest of her outfit, I think there's literally some magic on display for her to be able to move at all.
Feel like taking a spin?
Well, no, actually, but... Thanks. By the way, in case you didn't see it, his shield is made of several hearts. LeBlanc's symbol, just kind of patterned around each other like a flower.
All right.
I like to think that LeBlanc's outfit, like the clothing, it's fabric on the outside, but the inside is just tape. It's just adhesive. So she just kind of...
This is brother. How is everything?
I will kill you.
Mission accomplished. We found ourselves a uniform.
Roger, we're on our way.
This is why I was confused why we didn't get the mission complete thing. Because there's no real backtracking in this game, not really. That's a real thing, Bragwin? Okay, what do we just get? Not bad, but not useful for me. I got another one I want. So one down. Oh yeah. We can talk to them now. It's okay, Gum Gum. Life is pain. Okay, so... I know where another one is, but we're gonna kinda... do this, because I think we need to go encounter the biggest jackass in the setting. Yep, we do. You ready to meet this guy? He's not as bad as Brother, but he's my second least favorite character in this game.
So, you return the sphere to New Yevon?
Why'd you do a thing like that?
What do you mean?
The Besaid Oraks have all joined the Youth League.
Well, officially at least. And Waka hasn't joined up yet.
Can't blame him, yeah? His kid's popping out any minute, you know. Now's not the time for him to be fussing around with politics.
Fussing, you say?
Hate this guy.
Who's he?
I am Becklem. I've been dispatched to Besaid by Youth League headquarters. I'm here to pound some fight into these pathetic slackers.
He's 100 times stricter than Waka.
You must be awfully confident in your strength if you're skipping training just to flap your lips like that. So, I guess you won't mind showing me what you're all really made of, then.
Oh, no way. He's kidding. What do we do now?
Is no one among you man enough to break my record? You're pathetic.
Okay, he's creeping me out.
Seriously.
See you later, Yuna.
What?
Stop that at once.
I like the idea that Waka still has the TKO one, the Petrify Blitzball. So Becklem here is just being a dick, and so Waka's like, "Fkung!"
The age of temples and prayers is over. It's about time you let go of those musty old traditions. There's no need to bow down to summoners either. Yes, summoners are a thing of the past.
We don't need anyone to send anyone. Everyone will die peaceful deaths from now on.
Hold it right there! Whose calm do you think this is, Buster?
There are no more Aeons to summon. Summoners are worthless now.
You will take those words back.
Especially since they are literally a lie.
I will. If you succeed in proving your worth to me. Well, what do you say?
This is why I don't like this guy, pretty much, by the way. $500 points. So, this side quest kind of sucks, yeah. It's fun to do on New Game Plus. It really sucks the first time around.
The way you twaddled on before, you had best break my record. Now, begin!
There's like a specific... Oh, God. I don't remember my buttons. I don't remember the buttons. Ah! There we go. There's like a pretty specific strategy to push through this one. And it involves getting specific ammo and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's like a very specific way you were supposed to do this if you want to win. I'm not going to win, by the way, because I don't have a walkthrough. Hello? Oh my god! Target! Okay, that's strange. I'm just gonna give up on that. So my score so far is 2. I need 500, but oh my god, game! Yeah, there's something worthwhile. Can someone do me a favor and look up what this gives? Becklam's minigame.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Oh my god, hang on. Apparently my buttons are literally wrong, or I'm hitting buttons wrong, one of the two. And Vigilant is giving me money for some reason. Vigilant, why would you do this? Why? I shake you, Vigilant. Shake. And then I put it towards Before the Storm, which I own now, by the way. I like to think the guy is super hot, because this is literally supposed to be a tropical climate. Hang on a second. So I did actually pull some cheats up here. I haven't loaded them at all yet, so I don't know what they are. So, what do we got? Let's see here. As much as I hate to add the cheat flag, I mean, screw this quest. What do we got here? Hey, there's a sphere break cheat. Oh, I'm totally doing that when we get there. Screw mini break, or screw sphere break. Okay, so that doesn't help. What else we got here? Blitzball, which is completely different in this one, by the way. Battle creature, stats, don't care. Player stats. There's our Argent points. There's actually quite a few things here. So there's the assembly pieces, that's for the Beaconell minigame. There's the Argent points and the open air points, that's for the Calm minigame. There's the marriage minigame, that's in here. Command points is in here. Publicity campaign is in here. There's the sphere break thing, yep. Hang on. What else we got? Damn, it doesn't look like this minigame is in there. That's a shame, because this is probably, I'd say overall, my least favorite minigame in this entire game. No, seriously. There's a little bit of RNG to it, and it's very heavily reliant on getting the right drops, and that's pretty much what's going to ensure a win here. Meh. Oh well, it was worth a shot. I give up. The Enigma plate. I don't remember what that does.
Effortless.
I didn't mind the logic puzzle, the one Joe Neutrino was referencing, but I do admit a walkthrough helped that one substantially. I think we could do that minigame now, actually. No, that's chapter 3, isn't it? Ah, gotcha. Thank you, Celebrian. Everything is political. That's like saying everything is... It's a disingenuous statement. So that's my response to that. It's one of those things that's technically correct, but doesn't actually convey any real information. Well, apparently you can get adamantite from that. That might be what I was trying to get from that, because holy crap. I wonder, is there a thing to give me accessories? I'm just curious. I hate to cheat, but I'm actually curious of something. Huh. Hang on, I'm gonna save really quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And then I'm gonna cheat, but I'm just curious, basically, so please forgive me. There. Let's see if that worked. It worked! Check it out! Okay, so some of you may have heard me talk about how I have 99% of this game, but I've never actually 100% of this game. That's because the reward for doing the Via Infinito is that, right there. The Iron Duke. That looks really good, Dakota. Now, you get one Iron Duke per clear of the Via Infinito, which means if I was to ever actually 100% this game, I'd have to do it 2 more times. And I basically refused to do that dungeon 2 more times. That's the only thing that prevented me from having 100% clear on this game. By the way, you're probably wondering, what does the Iron Duke do? Well, let me show you here really quick. So you see her stats over there, right? You can actually see them. Give me a second to get all the way down here. There we go. So Iron Duke does that to her stats. Just for a bit quick comparison there, you can kind of see the direct... Yeah, that's the Iron Duke. It's basically the best accessory in the game. There's other best accessories in the game. For example, this makes every ability cost 0 mana. This allows your HP to exceed quad 9. This allows your max damage to exceed quad 9. The catnip is... So the catnip is a really weird one. If you're in critical health, all the damage you do is quad 9. Turns all elemental damage to HP, so full elemental absorb. Adamantite is what he was just referencing, which you can see right there. Really boosts my defense by like 150, and my magic defense by 120. Reduces my agility substantially. Reduces my strength to 1 to increase my magic power. It massively increases your luck. There's a bunch of really good things here that you can get throughout this game. Yeah, Catnip plus Gunner was how I got through the Via Infinito. I need to turn that cheat back off, because I don't actually want to cheat. I was just curious if it worked. Now, it's probably still there. Yep, okay, so we're going to have to reload, but that's okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop off a little early, because I have a quick errand I want to get done. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I will be back at 3 as the usual time. So I'll see you guys in about 1 hour and 20.